Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, it's, Monday, July 28th. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a good Monday. Hope everybody came off a good weekend as well. You guys can tell I'm back out here at Basecamp. Hot and sticky day, of course, but hey, we're going to do it. Got my one-win hammock. Hey Kelly, how are you doing? Hey Adventures with Ken, how you doing? You guys doing okay tonight? Appreciate you guys being here. Got a good day overall. Kind of excited. We got something in the mail today for a challenge coming up. So looking forward to doing that. And as everybody knows, probably from last week, Herbert T Outdoors got a challenge for cooking a meal with $5. Hey, Minnesota Mike, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming in tonight. Better was sick last week. Today's been good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Kelly. It's never good to be sick, that's for sure. Plus, with the weather the way it is, well, it's not good to be sick anytime, but definitely now when it's hot doesn't help any. What everybody do over the weekend? It's about let's see what it is now. It's still 91 degrees here currently at 7:02, so it's probably not going to start cooling down till 1 or 2 a.m. Probably, maybe not even till 3. I think it's only supposed to get down to 75 somewhere around there tonight. So it's going to be a hot, sticky one. But I've got my fan out here, so that'll help. Last week that got me through pretty good. I had that Bauer fan in the back of the truck, and it was pretty all right as long as you stay around that, have a little breeze going. Because when I first got out here and set up camp, it was pretty breezy, but it's completely stopped. So there's no breeze. It's really a thick canopy under here, so I was really surprised that there was as much breeze as it was. But yeah, that's gone. So I'm gonna rely on this fan for the rest of the night. Weekend was okay. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Yeah, I understand that, Ken, for sure. Definitely can get worse. But way it goes. Lost 8 pounds. Oh, wow. 8 pounds. Wow. 85 degrees there. That's not too bad then. But the high humidity, it makes it feel worse, of course. Um, all the farmers are scrambling around our neighborhood trying to get the hay put up because we're scheduled for rain last part of the week. So they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. You'll probably hear some tractors in the background going down the road. They're going up and down the road and helping each other getting their hay. It's pretty cool community we have here. They all willing to help each other out and get that hay put up. So, hey, Kitchen Witch, how are you? Appreciate you coming in from Pennsylvania. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We're gonna do just hanging out at camp. I don't know if I'm gonna do that Herbert's cooking challenge tonight or in the morning. I actually have a breakfast food. Spoiler alert! I've got breakfast food that I bought for the challenge, but I don't know if I'm gonna have it for dinner or if I'm gonna have it for breakfast. I don't know, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it live here if I do it tonight or do it in the morning and do a separate video. So, but I do got something for that. I'm really not that hungry. I had a pretty good sized lunch. We'll see. With the heat the way it is, I'll probably be hungrier in the morning. We'll see how it goes. I love seeing others help. Yes, I do too. It's what community should be about, but unfortunately, you know how it is nowadays. That People are afraid to even say hi to one another when you move into a community, even whether it's in the city or the country. We're real fortunate to have our next door neighbors, or on both sides of us, are super awesome people. Really good community we live in here. Very blessed to be here for sure. But it's not the case everywhere. I know my brothers, I know my brother Chris, they have some decent neighbors, I think, there where they live. Uh, my brother Philip and Linda, they travel in the RV right now. They're currently down in near Galveston, Texas. So um, if they don't like their neighbors, they can just get up and move, which is a plus. So that's what my parents did for a while. They were snowbirds and went down to Arizona and stayed in the RV for um, quite some time. My dad traveled before he retired uh, in an RV, so they did that for a while too. That was nice of them because they, like they said, if they got bad neighbors, they just get up and move to a different part of the camp, or they would just move to a different location entirely. So that's always nice. Let's see here. What did you say, Ken? Let's see here. I was going to do that challenge too, but don't have the time. The rest of this week and next is busy. Yeah, I was thinking about just doing it tonight on the live. I got a pretty good breakfast food to do. Um, I was going to do a Mexican food part of the challenge, but I just didn't get it done. And uh, but I got a pretty good breakfast. I mean, it's not homemade by no means, but it'll make a good camp meal for $5. And you can eat breakfast or dinner, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm a big breakfast fan. We have breakfast for dinner here or there, so we really like it instead of having the same old all the time. A lot of times we'll have breakfast. My 94-year-old neighbor called today. I went to help. That's awesome, Kelly. Yeah, when we first moved out here back in 2018, our next door neighbor Martha was awesome. Unfortunately, she passed away 3 years ago, but she was 96 when she passed away. No, actually, she turned 97. But anyways, yeah, she was an amazing neighbor. I felt so bad because her family never came to visit her, and she hated to call on us to help her do things, but I was always running over and helping her do things around her house because she didn't have anybody to help. So, that's unfortunate that you get up that age and you don't get anybody to come and, help you out. You don't have family that comes around, but that's how life ends up happening sometimes, unfortunately. But that was awesome, Kelly. I'm glad you did that. It's few and far in between anymore that people will reach out and help one another. But you never know. I mean, even with people's ages and stuff, I mean, even stopping to help a lady on the side of the road anymore is kind of hit or miss. They could be packing heat and, get scared if you go approach them. So I'm even kind of reluctant myself to even stop along the road. Now, if it's an older lady, I definitely will stop. But um, if I do stop, I usually motion before I approach the vehicle and, motion to them, ask them if they need help before I approach them. So, but yeah, I understand why people don't do it anymore. And unfortunately, um, with the way the world's going, people have the right to, uh, I don't want to say live in fear, but to be, protect yourself and your family for sure. Just what happened here locally in the Ozarks Saturday is a prime example of, protecting your family. And you never know when something could happen. And you just got to do the best you can do, and whatever you believe, if you believer in faith, pray and for protection, number one, but number two, do all you can do to protect your family, and uh, just live life. Don't be a hermit and don't let it ruin your life. You can't live in fear and not want to help others and not want to get out and enjoy. You know, these young couple lost their life out in the wilderness in the remote rural area. With their family. I mean, you never know when something can happen, but you know, I truly believe our days are numbered. So, but it's just the unfortunate part of our world, um, hatred and unchecked mental health and uh, substance abuse. You can name it. Uh, could be causes. It's just our human nature, sinful nature, that causes those things to happen. And but I see people either wanting to stay home or not wanting to get out, but you just can't let it ruin your life. Uh, I'm glad that um, I'm glad that we have our officers and first responders to be there for us, but you don't ever want to have to call them. Just like I was doing a live a couple weeks ago out here, um, I heard the EMS pull up to my neighbor's house, and anytime you hear that, you're worried that somebody's hurt. Obviously somebody's hurt. It was a fire truck at first, so I thought maybe a fire, but it ended up being EMS, and um, ended up our neighbors being okay. So that was good, but it is a scare, But Ken says, I unfortunately live in a HOA community, and a quarter of the people hate me, quarter avoid me altogether, and another half love me. Yeah, you, that's another thing in the world. No matter how likable you are, what kind of person you are, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. Uh, I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't like me. I try to be likable and try to be um, helpful and caring, and but you know people are people, and each individual is different, and there's different personalities. Just like at your work, there's people that just don't like you, and you just won't get along. You just got to keep your distance and just be cordial to one another and get along because you work together, or get along because you're neighbors. But some people just don't want to get along no matter what. Some people just are miserable in life, and they want to make everybody else's life miserable. So there's always those two. So we got to love them all, right? There are 40 apart here, so I'm called on a lot. Wow. I bet. Yeah. And me being an electrician too, there's usually people wanting help and not wanting to do it. And I understand it, everybody's got a gift, whether it's sewing, whether it's cooking, whether it's running errands for people, or being an electrician or a plumber or HVAC technician, or whatever. My dad was a HVAC service tech. He had was certified in ammonia repair and uh, refrigeration and everything. So it was nice having him around. He was an electrician as well in the Air Force. So um, we all knew enough to be able to take care of our own things. But you know, you see those things whittling down when people pass on, and you take not that you take them for granted, but you realize just how much they meant to your family or their community, and how much they helped people. When my dad passed, there were so many people telling me how giving he was, how caring he was, to bend over backwards to go help his elderly neighbors and friends and our family. And um, I knew it, but it was just an awesome reassurance that everybody else seen him as the same person that I did. Not just that he was my father, but he was a good man, and those people are few and far in between anymore. I mean, um, those older generation of my parents, and of course all my grandparents are gone, but they're almost all gone. And not that there's not still good people in the world, because there is. There's a lot of good people in the world, but um, I'm just ranting and raving. But I mean, it's the truth. It's good that you're helping people, Kelly, and um, always encourage people to do it. And I know a lot of us in this community are giving and caring, and like I say every week, it's awesome. I had some cans of food show up at my door last week. Reap what you sow. Absolutely, Kelly, for sure. I I believe that 100% wholeheartedly. And I'm not into the prosperity gospel or anything like uh, some people believe, but you do get back 100-fold. But it's time, talent, and treasures. It's not just monetarial. It's not money. It can come back in food. It can come back in clothing. It can come back in somebody doing something for you in return. You know, not that you can't get money. People do give you money, but I mean, that's not what you should be looking for. I mean, just your basic needs, and be humble. I try to be humble with what I have. You know, uh, the world tendencies to, your glass is half full or half empty. Mine's, I try to look at it as a half full, but a lot of people look at it as half empty. So, hey, Glenn, how you doing, brother? Doing all right tonight? Just out here at base camp with my one wind tarp and hammock. Got a real basic setup tonight. Bug net. I've got my Kelty quilt, top quilt in my hammock just to lay under me in case a mosquito would happen to try to get me from underneath. But yeah, I won't need any kind of pillow or blanket tonight. It's gonna be plenty warm. I've got my fan out here. Uh, I do have a little food, like I said, but I don't know with the heat. I may not feel like eating. Last week, after I ate after I got off the live because it cooled down and it was nice enough for me to be able to eat and want to feel like eating. Got plenty of electrolytes out here with me, so I'm gonna keep hydrated. Brought my laptop out here this time so I can read the comments better because my phone is horrible on the screen reading the comments. Hey, Lefty, thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you stopping by. How are you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Woodsman, how you doing, man? Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little behind on comments here. Appreciate you coming in, Matt. Hot to be at camp. Yeah, it's pretty hot, but I got that fan running on me here, and as long as I stay around it and don't exert too much energy, most energy I have to do is putting up the hammock and tarp, and that wasn't too bad. It only took me about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, so it's not too bad right now. I wish the breeze was still going, but now that I got the fan going, it feels good. We have to be nice to each other. It was raised with respect. Yep, that's right, Glenn. You can tell the people that, have been raised proper. Not that any of us are perfect, but I mean, you can tell. You can tell the people nowadays. I mean, nobody holds the door for anybody. I mean, when I'm in town, I hold the door for everybody, man, woman, or child, and they just kind of look at you with disgust or disrespect, like, what are you holding that door for? I can get it, but I was raised to hold the door for whoever's behind you. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, child, helping elderly ladies. It's like the other day I was in Walmart and this elderly lady was trying to get something off the top shelf. Had no reason to try to be doing that, and I kind of looked over at her. I thought, hey, let me help you with that. And she looked at me and, kind of not scared, but shocked that I offered to help her. I was like, you don't have to be afraid to ask for help. And she just kind of smiled at me. And, little things like that may seem little to some, but, that little old lady it was a pretty heavy item on the top shelf and she could have hurt herself really bad, trying to get that down. But like she's, rightfully so, she's in fear of asking anybody that they'll get offended or get mad or cuss her out or, who knows what. I mean, I literally had a woman one time say, you don't have to hold that door for me. I don't need no man to do anything for me. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I was just raised to respect, whoever it was. I told her it didn't matter if you was a man or woman or child. I was raised to hold the door, no disrespect. So, but I understand, I understand people have their own beliefs and what they want to do. So, but it's sad. A smile, yep, is a good payment. Or a fresh baked cookie or baked good, man. Martha was always baking homemade breads and muffins and cookies. And, I'd go do something for her. And she knew best way to a man's heart through his stomach. And, I'm 100% on with that. It's like my buddy that best friend, really down here. Um, he knows he can just feed me and I'm happy. It's nice that they sometimes want to pay you, but I mean, feed me, barbecue a hot dog or hamburger or something, something, make me a sandwich. I don't care. I'm good about food. I'm glad you're all right, Lefty. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, when it cools down, man, I wouldn't mind to go down to that campground down there on Bull Shoals. That's a nice area. We're just good old country people. That's right. I was definitely, I still am, but um, I was raised on a dairy farm and raised by my grandmother and my mom and dad both. And I'm glad they instilled morals in me. I tried to instill them in my kids too. I just hope they're respectful to people they're around. They're all grown and gone now. So I'm just hoping they are. I'm pretty sure they are, but I know my son, when he's around me, I see him holding doors for people and stuff. So it makes me proud that I, pass that on to my kids. It's awesome. It makes me proud. Common courtesy, absolutely, Woodsman. That's one thing that this world needs more of. And how in the world that could offend you, I have no idea. But it's just loving one another. I mean, like I said before, I don't want to get on a soapbox again, but I mean, just get back to the roots of our country and caring about each other, and you know, not looking at skin color, not looking at you know male or female. It's just common courtesy and respect. That's awesome. That's exactly 100% accurate. Thanks again for reminding everybody to hit that like button. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody hanging out. I did get a pretty good compiled up a decent list today for the stuff that's on sale. Bargain segment, camping segment. I don't know what you want to call it, but I kind of like that. I'm always shopping and looking for a good deal, uh, going to thrift stores, and I like helping people out with, as bad as the economy is and how hard it is money wise anymore. Saving a few bucks here and there is good for our community for sure. I like passing on what I find. So funny, all the years that I've been out here, living out here, I had no idea that my Starlink Wi-Fi would reach all the way out here in the base camp. Wow. Low line plane. I don't know if you can hear that. Wow. Usually they don't go directly over my place, but that one went directly over my campsite. Low. Probably got doing a pass by and trying to land probably. Wow, that was real close. Let's see here. We all need to get together and go on a camping trip. Absolutely, Glenn. Yeah. Um, I don't know if Randy's told you about what's going on coming up first of the year, but there is a Midwest bushcraft meetup winter camp too, and I think it's in January. I'm not 100% positive, but there is one of a camp. Uh, yeah, they got a Facebook page. I know Midwest Bushcraft Show. I think it is. A meetup. I can't remember, but they do have a website and they have a good get together and classes that you can do there. Um, we have an annual YouTuber meetup that we did up at Mark Twain National Forest here in Missouri. I don't know if Randy talked to you any about it or not, but yeah, I'd like to get a hammock hang going, Midwest hammock hang, but I do have some exciting news to tell everybody. I kind of touched on a little bit last week. I didn't say what it was, but I'm trying to wait until maybe it happens to tell everybody. But I'm going to be kind of busy this fall. Um, so yeah, I don't know when I want to spill the beans on it. It's pretty exciting news, um, but I just want it to happen first before I say anything. So I'm getting really excited. I know it's going to happen about the first part of September. So be looking forward to. I may tell everybody on a live, or I may make a video. I don't know, but super excited. Um, God's really good to us, and I'm super excited for the next adventure and our family and what God's going to do through us. Um, it's a whole new chapter, and you know, I was concerned, all last year losing my parents, and then this year losing my father-in-law. It's been tough. It's been really tough, and sometimes you question, you want to say why, why are you going through these things? And I tried not to say why, but I was trying to be more positive and looking at, well, I know there's something going to be good come out of it. I know there's something coming. As tough as it was going through all that, keeping your eyes fixed on the positive part will get you through, just like Woodsman sorry, man, losing a really good friend of his, you know, death in itself is really tough to deal with, but when it's somebody close to you, it's even harder. And um, I knew in my heart, I knew something good was coming. I just knew something good was coming. And I just stood on that. I was like, man, it's hard to take, but it was even harder to look at the positive part and say, what's in store for me? I know there's something going to be good come out of it. Um, and it did in a big way. And it's just amazing how God works, it's amazing. Let's see here. My mom would commonly jack slap the courtesy right back into me. My brothers. It's funny you say that, Woodsman, because that's exactly what we'd say with my mom when she'd jack slap us, man. And it didn't matter if he was in the back of the car. We had a station wagon growing up. And if she couldn't reach you with her hand, she had something she'd hit you with, a belt, a fly swatter. She'd take her shoe off and hit you with it. I mean, if you were out of line, man, if mom couldn't do it and dad had to step in, oh, buddy, you knew you were in trouble. My mom was a pretty tough lady. She was really short, but man, she didn't take crap. She fought with guys in school, not just girls. My mom was a fighter, little spitfire growing up. And, yeah, if my mom couldn't take care of us boys, I'm the youngest of three, and three boys she had to take care of. And if she couldn't do it, and she said, well, wait till dad comes home, he was like begging her to discipline you. Yeah, Mike. Nope, we got that all covered. We got that covered, my friend. I knew you knew exactly uh, what was coming down the pipe, and I'm sure everybody else knows that. We're still going to leave it a surprise. Hey, Ursa and Leo, how are you guys doing tonight? Appreciate you coming by, man. Is this Ursa or is this Leo? Good to see you too, man. Never late, man. You can always come in, no matter what time it is. Glenn says, I deal with death every day and it really hard on me sometimes. Yeah, Glenn. You're EMS, right? Or I can't remember what. I don't remember you saying something about your work, but I can't remember what it was. rolling pin your mom would get you with? Oh, buddy, that sucks. uh, yeah. Luckily, my mom never did a rolling pin, but she loved those fly swatters with the metal handles, and she'd turn the metal handle around and swat you on your shins, not your shins, but your calves on the back of your legs. Man, that'd get you dancing. Woodswood says, "Yeah, I gotta walk the line when out in public." Absolutely, yeah. I always try to watch my p's and q's. I don't want to ever offend anybody, but you're going to. No matter what you do, what you say, how you believe, how you act, you're going to offend somebody. And when you're trying to do the right thing and be a polite and respectful human being alone, and you offend somebody, well, it what state of our world's in, and where we're headed. The good word tells us where we're at, and it's right on point. Um, there's a reason for all of it, and most of us all know what that reason is, and we just got to do the best we can, keep our heads up, and still do the right thing. Mike, I appreciate you, brother, and I know not just me. I know everybody's affected daily, yearly with hard times, man, and none of it's easy. No matter what it is, it's tough. And if I can encourage one person and tell you, no matter what you belief aside, uh, it goes, it's universal, worldwide. Keep a positive outlook. Look at the good things. No matter how many bad things are happening in your life, there's always more good than bad. But as human beings, we tend to look at the bad. And when you're going through the bad and the storm, that's the hardest time. That's the last thing I wanted to hear, that something good was going to come in the midst of it. You just want to be alone. I'm kind of like some other people. I just need my alone time. And thank God for YouTube, and you guys helped me through that hard time and not knowing it, just being the community you guys are, being the friends that you guys are, the friendships that I've made throughout it. That is what it's about. That's what gets you through. Not only trying to keep a positive outlook in the midst of dealing with it, because everybody deals with loss, pain, suffering, each differently. And keeping that positive outlook is the hardest thing. And I'm not going to say it's easy. No way. It's the hardest thing. Um, I never want to lose that many people in a row again, but we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So love your loved ones the best you can every day. Woody says it all the time on nomadic camping, uh, you know, and it's true. Um, tell everybody you love them every single day, whether they're tired of hearing it or not. Tell them, because you're always, once they're gone, you wanted one more time to be able to tell them. That's not a negative thing. That's, this side of heaven. I know I'm going to see again, but um, I don't know how long I've got to be here without them. So uh, you guys mean a lot. You guys do, every one of you. Um, Not just the ones I met in Pennsylvania, the ones I met here. All of you know who you are, and it's awesome. It's awesome last year to be able to connect with uh, 6 other YouTubers and uh, get to know you guys personally on a personal level. This past year has been great. Uh, I call each one of you my brothers, um, and the women in here, they're all brothers and sisters. We're all related. Um, So it's important. It's really important to be there for one another, and I'm thankful that you guys are all there and support me. Hey, Life on a Budget. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Let me know if that sun in the background starts washing the screen out, but it looks pretty. Appreciate you coming in, Life on a Budget. Oh, how'd the music festival go? I knew you went to that. Did it go good? Did you have a good time? Camping is always good life on a budget. Yep. Anytime you can camp, it's my stress relief. My wife knows. She can see when I start getting stressed out. And she goes, you want to go camping? She knows me very well. I'm very blessed to have the woman I have, and God's definitely given me the gift of her, and she's definitely my backbone. With me, Glenn, camping with me, it's like getting a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Woodsman, uh, you're a good guy, Woodsman. I don't care what anybody says. I know you'd do anything for me if you could. Awesome, Ursa and Leo. I appreciate that, and you are my brothers too. So I look forward to meeting you guys as well. If that's what happens and it comes to tuition, then I'm all for it. I'm love to meet every single one that is in our community. Hopefully someday maybe we will, but yeah, I wish I could meet up with each and every one of you. Glenn, Ozarks, that's okay with me. Yep, yep. Everybody being different is awesome, man. That's what the world is good, and that's another thing. Looking at the positive, we know how bad the world's getting, but there's a lot of good in the world too. There's always more good. It's just like I said, focusing on that bad. This community here, best on YouTube, I can guarantee you. What's burning on your table behind you? That's one of those mosquito repellent coils. What's left of one? I got a little one left over there. They're not really bad in here tonight, but yeah, I've got it on one of those little metal stands on my table. But yeah, it's just one of those mosquito coils. I've got my thermocell out here too. It takes care of most of the area, but I've got a piece of the coil by the fire pit in front of me, and then one on the table behind me, just to make sure we get good coverage tonight. Mosquito repellent. Woodsman knew it. Woodsman answered it before I did. Sorry about that. I didn't see the comment until you answered it. This channel is family for sure, and that's kind of what I started out doing. I didn't care that I'd ever get big, and really I don't. I mean, it's a blessing to get over 500. It's going to be a blessing if I hit 1,000. That's just icing on the cake, but that means I've got 500 or 1,000 extended family members that I call family, and that's the kind of subscribers that I want, is ones that not only support your channel but support the community. And when there's tragedy happen, if people that believe in prayer or positive thoughts, whatever you want to do or whatever you believe, I know everybody's going to have positive thoughts if I'm in need, and I know majority of them are going to be praying for me. I know if I need something, there's two real close to me I know I can call on, and they're going to be there for me if I need them. And I truly believe that. You guys know who you are. Yep, Woodsman. Yep. We are Motley Crew as well, in which my opinion makes it the best to me. Yep, absolutely. We hit 20 subs, so we are close to being able to do live at camp too. We're so excited. I got a Hellbender review coming Saturday. Leo wants to hit chimney tops and smokies this weekend. Awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So I really like that new Hellbender hammock you got. I'll check out that review and your latest video. Your first video is really good, guys. I enjoyed it. Life on a budget. I found a patch of bars growing behind my camp. Oh, sassafras? Oh, yeah. I was like, what? Wow, really? Huh. We have a lot of blackberries here. I kind of call it Briar Patch Farms here on our property. Got a lot of wild blackberries, mulberries, a lot of honeysuckle, which that's Missouri wide, but we have a lot of honeysuckle on our tree lines. It smells so good. A bunch of black walnut trees. Um, yeah, that's about it here on our property. Um, I would like to plant an orchard on the back part of my property eventually, but it's on the list. I built a bear, hence is my trail name and my cardio. I'm going to be exhausted hiking that. Wanted to bring you guys with us for this one. Absolutely. I'm anxious to see your next outing. It'll be awesome. You guys just be safe out there. Hey, Dan, how you doing tonight, brother? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping in. Just kind of got an open chat tonight, as usual. I'm going to try to get back on topic here soon. Just got everything. When I'm out here at camp, it's kind of hard to get my camp set up and work on getting the topic going. I kind of like the open topic too. Um, but I do have my bargain segment or whatever you want to call it, that I've got a little list of things that I want to touch on that I think are a good deal. Let's see here. Good eating. Yep, a lot of good eating. I love fresh berries. Goes well on pancakes. Absolutely. So awesome when you can go somewhere like that has wild blueberries or strawberries too. We do have a few wild strawberries sporadic through our property, not enough to harvest. Um, but I love the wild strawberries in your pancakes or the blueberries, but elderberries, blackberries, mulberries, any of that's pretty good in your pancakes for sure. There's Leo says, never met any of y'all in real life. Yes, you're all our family. Yep, absolutely. That's what this is for, and that's what I want for my channel more than anything is number one, friendships, number two, community, which go hand in hand in my books, uh, and growth. You know, we can iron sharpens iron, and not one person knows everything, not one person has everything. And with community, I wouldn't mind working out a thing with everybody off of either the whole community, but you know, if somebody has a piece of gear that somebody else would like to have and doesn't have the money or just wants to try something out, you know, I'm all for bartering. You know, if I've got this and trade for that, or just send somebody something. You know, I worked with a guy that his wife wanted a hammock so bad, and I had several hammocks. I just gave her a hammock. You know, they were like floored that I gave them something. I was like, well, that's what friends are for. You know. Woodsman says, I have a lot of sassafras, mulberry, blackberries, gooseberry, elderberry, and wild strawberries in my trailerhood campsite. Yep. I love gooseberries, man. My gooseberry pies is like one of my favorite. Elderberry jellies are my uh, main favorite jelly. We had all that on our farm growing up. We had all the wild berries like that, and Grandma always made jellies and jams. Kim says, Ursa Leo, I'll be there picking the hanging high hammock. Yep. I need to find a good hammock for me. I'm not a small guy, lol. Yeah, a lot of the new hammocks now will hold 400 to 500 pounds, and just make sure you get a double wide. Um, they have a double wide, and then they have a double. Mine's a double XL. Um, so yeah, just get a big and longer hammock, at least 10 and a half, 11 foot to 12 foot, and make sure it's extra wide. But yeah, make sure you get a good one for your first one, and don't go through numerous ones like I did before. You know, when I first got into hammocking, they didn't have hardly any hammocks like they do now on the market. When I first got on YouTube and first getting into hammocks, they just had the little ones. They didn't have all these Dutchware and hanging high, and they didn't have uh, superior gear, and they didn't have all these companies back then. So yeah, make sure you don't have to spend a lot of money. Hanging high hammocks are really good when they have a extra wide 12 footer. It's not too bad. The one wind's a little cheaper. I think I gave $75 for my one wind 12 foot extra wide. The hanging high extra wide 12 foot 110, so it's quite a bit more. But their 11 foot is pretty wide. I think it's 68 inches wide, and it's only $60, so it's a good deal. And if you guys want, I do have on my description in my profile on YouTube here, I do have a hanging high hammock affiliate link now. So if you guys want a hanging high any of their gear, you can get 10% off and use that code that's in my description. Not that I going to make a whole lot off it. It's just a discount for you guys. I don't make anything off of it. So it's just for you guys. I don't make a single thing off of it. So, but I wanted to do it to save people money. So 10%, 10%. Hey, Glenn, I'm 5'10", 225. I'm going to attempt the hammock one of these days. I hope the ropes are strong for me. Yeah, you definitely don't want a cheap Chinese hammock. Of course, I was stupid and I didn't have a lot of money when I first started buying my first hammock. So I bought a couple cheap ones, but they held me. And I mean, I'm not huge, but I think I'm 5'11" and I'm about 225. So, yeah, all the hammocks I have hold me. So I do have probably 4 or 5 Chinese hammocks, and they're all will hold me. So a lot of the smaller ones I use just for lounging hammocks when my wife and I go camping, or if my kids go with me. Um, we'll set up some lounging hammocks for people. Hey, two guys in the Ozarks, I appreciate you stopping by, Matt. Welcome in, brother. Hope you're doing well. Are you at work tonight? Leo and Ursa says, Ozark, there's a lot of good suspensions. Atlas from Eno holds 400 pounds. I have Dutch wear spider webbing. Daisy chain is 1,500 pounds breaking, and it's 1.87 a foot. Yep. Yeah, a lot of the Atlas straps will hold 400 plus pounds. But you also got to know the rating of your hammock, too. The hammock set is about 25 years old, LOL. As long as it's been stored in a good area and not in a lot of excessive heat and cold, your hammock should still be pretty good. I'm 5'7", about 270. Yeah, that's about what my nephew is. Well, no, my nephew's he's 5'10" or 5'11", but he's about 270, I'm guessing. And he fit in. I do have a 10-foot Magellan hammock from Academy Sports. I've got 2 of them, and they held him really well, and he slept real comfortable in it. So I think their rating's close to 400 on it. But yeah, he fit in it really well. But they're a little shorter. You know, they're not quite 10 foot. They're like 9. They're almost 10 foot. They're just under 10 foot. Woodman says, "Hey Glenn, we'll have to roll around when we hang out. Fall on the ground and roll around." Yeah, I have I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's David HHH10 is the uh, code for hanging high hammock. Trevor's really cool. He's from the Virginia area, so it's helping local, kind of like Ursa and Leo saying with Dutch wear. Uh, you know, helping locals are good, but two, you got to get the best for what your budget can afford. You know, if you can't afford, a $200 or $300 hammock, then I'd definitely go with a one wind or hanging high or something like that. That's middle line. I wouldn't get the cheapest for sure, but I would get the best for what you can afford for sure. I'm 5'11", 320, and I slept fine in the Eno single nest, which is 400 pounds passing. My Hellbender is 350. Yeah. Yeah, the Enos are pretty good, and they're not super expensive either. I would I'd even recommend one of them as your first hammock. If you can get as close to 10 foot, 10 and a half, or longer, if you're at least 5'10", um, even 5'8", I would even recommend that size. But I sleep really comfortable in either one of my Academy Sports hammocks. Like I said, they're almost 10 foot. I put structural ridge lines on both of them, so they hang the same every time I hang them. So um, I can sleep comfortable in either one of those. Glad you're doing well, Matt. Good to see you in here, brother. I know you've had a lot going on in your life lately, and I did touch on earlier. I seen the group text on what happened down there in the Ozarks and part of your neck of the woods, Matt. I don't know if everybody in here knows, but I mentioned earlier in the live when it first started that there's two younger married couple that lost their lives down in Devil's Den State Park there and close to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and just ask everybody to say a prayer for the family, and if you don't pray, then just positive thoughts for the family. And such a tragedy to those little kids have to witness that. Um, just it's horrible, you know. If justice isn't served on this earth, good thing is it'll eventually be served. I know there's a lot of people that get by and get away with things. It's sad, but eventually justice will be served. But they were hiking this past Saturday, and somebody, with or without a motive, it doesn't really matter whether they had a motive or not. They killed the parents of those two little girls, 7 and 9 years old, and yeah, good Lord's going to take care of it one way or another. So, but we can do our due diligence and pray for them and send up positive thoughts for the family. And uh, horrible thing, but figured them out. If I like it, I'm going to get the big one win hammock. Yeah, yeah, and anybody's more than welcome to try one of mine out. Try my one win out to make sure somebody else's. Uh, I know Herbert likes his, and most everybody does. But um, if you want to borrow it, you're more than welcome to, Woodsman. It is a tragedy, Glenn. Very sad situation, Matt, for sure. But it just goes to show you, man. Um, you need to be ready to protect your family at all means. I mean, that goes for a single mom or a married couple, father. Always be prepared to protect your family no matter what. And if you don't believe in lethal means or whatever, there's all different kinds of protection that you can carry. At the very least, bear spray or pepper spray. Um, not that 100% that would have cured the situation, but it sure would have helped. Um, you know, like I said before, we don't need to live in fear every day of our lives, but just be prepared. And that goes with everything in life: your work, uh, your job. Well, your job and your work, same thing. That's not what I meant. Your work and going out camping, um, going out hiking with your family. Who would have thought anything like that could be possible? But it did. No matter why it happened, it happened. So I always tell people be prepared no matter what the situation is. It's not bad to be prepared for if something happens. We don't know how much of the end times we're going to go through. So uh, having a little extra water, a little extra food, a little extra toiletries is not a bad idea. Uh, Being prepared when you go out with your kids. How many times I take my kids when they're little hiking out on the trails. Never, never crossed my mind that what happened to that family could have happened, but it can. It can happen in the middle of the city. It can happen out in the remote rural areas like that. It can, you know, you never know. I mean, it's good to be prepared no matter what. Absolutely can. Yep. And I always hear people say, "Oh, you can be overprotective." No, no, you can't. Not as a father, you can't be overprotective. You can be smothering, yes, but not overprotective of your family. Never, never feel like you're overprotective of your children, your wife, any family member. Um, and that's just my belief. I'm not going to tell anybody to do something they don't want to do, but some kind of means of protection, uh, you know, whatever it is. Um, just try to be prepared as much as you can. Hey, up to something outdoors. Appreciate you stopping in. How you doing tonight? We're just kind of shooting the breeze here. Here in a second, I'm going to go through some of the items that I see it's on sale, or if they're not on sale, I think they're a good deal and something that I thought would be good to share. Like we have talked about here before, the two-legged animals are the most dangerous. Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. Humans are the only ones that, well, I say that. Animals, I guess, could have motives too, but humans, I fear the most out of all creatures. Um, I'd rather be in a den with the lions like Daniel than be in the den with certain human beings. They're so unpredictable, and I know animals are for the most part too, but most of them are after food. You know, they're not after to kill you just because they don't like you. Some of them probably are, but some of it's out of aggression, but or protecting their little ones, their family. So you get into their territory, so you got to be respectful of animals. But some people, even if you're respectful to them, they don't care. So yeah, it's sad. Hey Cole, welcome in, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, it is a beautiful sunset. Got my one wind hammock and tarp up. Gonna do an overnighter out in Basecamp again. So I like being able to do these lives out here. I'm gonna do. Hopefully this fall I can get the project going. Like I said, this fall is gonna be hit or miss on being able to do a lot of stuff coming up. I've got a really busy fall coming up. So, but if I can in the winter or spring, I want to get started on a pallet cabin. I want to build me a little small cabin out here that I can do my lives in too when the weather's bad. So, and deck it out with some outdoor gear, and I think that'd be really cool. Put a porch on it and everything. So that's kind of my idea out here. I want to get going. I've got plenty of lumber and tin to do the outside of it. Going to do it really rustic. When I'm go out, I'm always packing. Yep, yep. If you can and you believe in that and you want to do that, do it. Um, if there's a lot more people doing that, and certain situations, I think certain bad situations could have been helped, maybe not averted, but helped a lot if more people carried to protect their families and friends and other people. Obviously, if you're in a certain situation and somebody comes in, you know, not not only the bad guy carrying, but if somebody, a couple good people, you could stop a lot of situations. Audio scratching, yeah, it may be hit or miss out here. I'm gonna plug in my phone so I don't forget about it running out. I don't have my earpiece in tonight. I don't have my microphone on tonight, so I'm relying just on my phone. So hopefully it clears up. Let me know if it sounds okay. Snow here's not too bad, Ursa Leo. It's hit or miss. Um, we don't get the snow like we used to. The first year we moved to Missouri, we got 24 inches of snow, which is a lot for here. Now you're lucky if you get a foot of snow, or even 8 to 10 inches is a lot of snow for here now. We haven't had a really big snow this past winter. I think we had 10 or 12 inches out here, and that was a lot. Um, but normally we get a couple 3 to 4, maybe 6 inches snows if we're lucky. The last 5 years, it's been pretty mild winter here, so not real bad. And it can get fairly cold here. Hey, Randy, appreciate you coming in, man. I understand, Randy. Do what you need to do, brother. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Let me bring up these deals real quick before I get too busy. I was going to do them on the phone so I could do screen share. Actually, I got my laptop out here. I was going to do the camera on my laptop's not as good quality as my phone. So I was going to do screen share so I could just screen share all these things, but I'll just have to talk about them or move it around and show the screen on the laptop like I did. But there's a few items that I think is a pretty good deal. Obviously, that tent at Menards, there's still some left. It's dropped in price a couple more dollars. It's under $40 now for that tent at Menards that I talked about last week. All right, I've got like 20 some items that I came across here. First thing is if you need the propane bottles, Walmart's got a really good deal on the propane bottles right now. The 4-pack. Of course, it's not going to come up for me. I may just have to go to it. There it goes. 4-pack of propane bottles, the big ones, the 16-ounce 4-pack of propane bottles, $18.87. That's a pretty good deal right there. They're normally $30. So if you guys are needing propane bottles for your camp stoves and whatnot, lanterns, 4-pack for $18.87. That's a super good deal. Yeah, it's one thing about I want to get that cabin going so I can have do lives inside the cabin and have more set up where I can use the laptop and do stuff and be able to utilize screen sharing more and more things that you can do on StreamYard. But this is cool. This will work. And two, speaking of safety and being prepared out in the woods, if anybody's looking for a GPS uh, location device, the Spot Gen 4 satellite GPS messenger. I don't know if you can see that. Let me scroll up here. But there, that's a good deal. Bass Pro's got it on sale right now for $99. It's normally $150. So that goes hand in hand with being safe, and having a GPS device. That's why I like having Apple and Pixel phones. You have emergency messaging on those two phones. I don't know how many more makes and models have emergency GPS, but I know iPhone and Google Pixels have it. But if you want extra backup, which I don't have the extra $100 right now, or I get it, but I would definitely get that Spot GPS at Bass Pro for $99. That's a good deal. Very good deal. And it's got 4.0 on the ratings. It's not super high on the ratings, but it's pretty good. Most of the time, I think I read a few of the reviews and it was just like setup things. Let's see here. You say you have a Garmin? Let's see here. Not allowed to watch this part anymore. Yeah, I understand. My wife kind of had rolls her eyes too. A lot of carts full sometimes, or wish list anyways. You don't worry about snow collapsing on the roof then. You look at a stove to keep yourself warm out there. Heard One Tire has a good one for a good price. Yeah, I always rely on my gear to keep me warm, Ursula and Leo. Um, all my gear is always going to keep me warm. I never rely on fire. I never rely on a stove. I never rely on hand warmers or anything. The gear on my body, number one, and then my sleep system. My hammock system is good to I've been in 10 below in my hammock and been warm. So I know I can go to 10 below Fahrenheit. Um, but I don't normally want to. I don't look to do extreme camping all the time, but I know I can if it dips down or the weather changes. And we all know the weather's wrong a lot of times. So if it gets drastic and gets cold, I know I can survive. But I always go lower than what I think that the forecast is, just to be safe. So, but thanks for the info. And yeah, um, I'm not much into hot tenting. If I did do a hot tent, it would be definitely a hot tent to go with my hammock setup. One Wind has a hot tent tarp, and I'd probably get a pellet stove. Sorry, Ken. I have a Garmin. Glenn says, yeah, Garmin's really good. I know that Spot 4 is a decent device, and it will help send out messages, SOS and stuff. So, um, I know the Garmin that I want is like $400. So, um, but I would definitely get that Spot if I didn't have anything else for emergency situation. $99 is a pretty good deal for a pretty dependable and reliable GPS device. But yeah, that's a good deal. Buy the warmest you can afford, definitely, Mike, for sure. Warmest you can afford, and you can always double layer. Always. Um, I highly recommend going to see Shug's videos on all to do with hammocks. He goes in detail on tarps and hammocks and underquilts and ridge lines and um, I'm not the go-to guy. I mean, I try to show sets up and stuff, and I'll answer questions, and what I don't know, I will find out. But I mean, for the most part, I know enough to be safe. I know enough now. Um, I don't know all there is to know about hammocking, and I don't think anybody does. There's always new things happening, new things coming out. But um, yeah, definitely get the best that keep you warm. You can always cool off for sure, Mike. Yeah. And that's one good thing about camping in this heat, having a fan, having, if you have a cooler with you, if you're car camping or have access to a cooler, bring things, cooling towels to put around your neck, or if you're around water, you can cool off, soak bandanas in water and put around your neck. There's a lot of ways to keep cool, even if it is hot. It was 104 heat index here today, and I'm out here. It really, really wasn't that bad being in the shade, having this air movement. Um, really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So the bugs aren't bad tonight, thank goodness. And like I said, I've got some bug deterrent out, so that helps, making sure I don't get any. I want an inReach 2. My Casio Forester doesn't have SOS function, so it lights up. So Suge is awesome. I'm hoping to see him at HangCon. Yeah, he'll probably definitely be at HangCon for sure. Suge is a outstanding gentleman. He's really smart as far as the outdoors, especially with hammocking and extreme cold weather hammocking too. He'd be the go-to guy to talk to. And Minnesota Mike in here, he would be a good gentleman to talk to. He's up in Minnesota as well. Glen Outdoors. My Garmin was $1,600. Coon hunting with it can make SOS calls. $1,600. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, it better for that much, huh? Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah, the average Joe can't afford $1,600 for a Garmin. So, but that's why if I run into any kind of halfway decent SOS device, I'll definitely throw it in there because I would totally, especially if you're going backpacking out, any length of rugged area, you definitely need something, and not go by yourself. But if you go by yourself, definitely take a GPS device for sure. I had to replace my long johns a few years after that were merino wool. They lost the ability to keep me warm like they once did. I'm buying all the new ones this year. Yeah, absolutely. Wool's such a good thing to keep you warm and real good quality. I was at either Goodwill. Yeah, I think it was Goodwill a couple weeks ago with my wife, and there was a brand new wool blanket. It was a $160 wool blanket, and I got it for $7.50 at Goodwill. It looked brand new. Very good find. Um, so yeah, I always have wool blankets with me when I'm camping too. Extra layers, and wool makes it such a good layer for underneath of you or on top of either one. So I always have a good wool blanket. I have a military wool blanket, and then I have that wool blanket, and then I have one other wool blanket. So yeah, good idea. Thrift stores are really good to find good used gear, sometimes new. I found a USGI issued uh, canteen here a couple weeks. No, it's been more than that. It's been a couple months ago, I guess. Really good deal. I think it was like $12. New hiking shoes from Ross there, Merrell's. Yeah, Merrell's are good hiking shoes for sure. Hey, Ed Chaos. Welcome in, brother. Appreciate you. Merrell's are top notch. Good shoes. I have some, my wife and I bought some, what kind do we have? We have, Redhead, Bass Pro Redhead hiking boots. They're pretty good. They're not top of the line by no means, but we got some pretty good, decent Bass Pro boots that were nice. We got those when we went to Arizona for our trip a couple years ago. They're holding up real good, pretty comfortable. I wear Merrell's at work every day. Yeah, I have my work boots are oh uh, I can't even remember the name of the work boots that I've got. They're name brand and they're pretty expensive. Why can't I think of what the name are? Um, but yeah, I've got some steel toe work boots that if they weren't steel toe, I'd definitely wear them out in the woods more. Hokers, yeah. Wow. Yeah, those are nice shoes. All right, let me get back to the yeah. So that Spot 4 Satellite Messenger at Bass Pro's on sale for $99 in the bargain bin. So if any of you looking, like I said, Ed came in and a few of you came in. If you're looking for a GPS device, $99 at Bass Pro. Let's see what's next on the list. Next on the list is another Bass Pro item, two-person tent. I thought this was a really good deal. It's in the bargain bin as well. Um, Ampex ultralight two-person adventure tent. Uh, Normally $269. It's $100 off. It's $169, which is still kind of high, but $169 for a name brand tent I thought was pretty good. You're not gonna be able to see this very well, but $100 off. That's a pretty good brand. It's 4.8 on the review, so I thought it was worthy being $100 off. If you're a person that likes name brand gear or higher end gear, um, that's a good buy at $169 to when it's $100 off. Like I said, 4.8 on the review, good reviews. I'm not going to read the reviews, but Bass Pro bargain bin. It's the well. Let you see. Well, it's going to be backwards. I'm going to have to turn the camera around for you to see the right. Well, oops. Uh, let's see here. I got to switch this around. I got the screen small, so I can't see. I can't see to turn it around. I don't have it on the right screen to turn the back camera on. But anyway, you might be able to see that. It's the Ampex Ultralight two person. You can't read it because it's backwards. Good tent, real good tent. But that tent at Menards, that climate tent would be a good one too, and it's $40 right now at Menards. So, but for if you're at Bass Pro and you have a gift card or something, that'd be a nice tent. And then I've got another one. That was a 2-person. They also have their 1-person on sale for $129. It's normally $199, so it's $70 off. Same tent, but 1-person. I thought that was a good buy. 129 is not terrible for 1-person, but it's not ultralight. But well, yeah, it is. It is ultralight. Both of them are ultralight. Well, the 1-person is ultralight anyway. For $129 for ultralight, if it's truly ultralight, let me see what the specs are, how much it weighs. Some people say ultralight and it's not ultralight. Let me see. Where are the specs? Show more. 1200 millimeter waterproof, which isn't the highest. Um, so they're saying ultralight, and it's 3 pounds, 1.4 ounces. I wouldn't call that ultralight. Um, there's a lot more tents that are closer to 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds. But then again, you're going to spend probably 4 times the price. So um, that would be close enough to ultralight for me. I wouldn't mind 3 pounds, even 4 pounds and under. I'll sacrifice if I really like the tent. I'll sacrifice weight somewhere else. To me, my sleep system, my shelter is really important. If I'm really wanting to go ultralight, I'm just going to bring me a tarp and a air pad and sleep, make my shelter with a tarp. Um, Still, you can go ultralight, lighter than anything else, even lighter in a hammock, tent, anything. If you do just tarp and bedroll, you can go ultralight. If you're really looking to do ultralight, just get your really good tarp, get your really good air mattress and sleep system, and sleep on the ground. If you're really concerned about it, but I guess that's my soapbox. It depends on how far you're going, how experienced you are. Um, Always get your gear, get your pack on, and hike around in your yard, hike around your neighborhood, hike around on a local trail close to your home. Get used to your gear before you can go out and find out what you can carry comfortably. I don't hike enough to really worry about ultralight trips anymore. I'd be lucky to do 225 miles in a day now. Um, I've got a bad back too and a bad neck, so I'm not into ultralight hiking. But if I did more than that, I'd definitely have to do ultralight. But um, there's a lot of good trails down in Arkansas that are 30, 35 miles, 40 miles long that I would break up into 2 different days, do 20 miles and 20 miles, or do 15 miles and 15 miles. So, but I'm not, my pack, like right now, my pack's probably 30 pounds, and I'd be okay with that. And if I wasn't, I'd drop it down to 20. I'd just change my sleep system. You just want to look at the pictures anyway. You wear your Ariat boots hiking in. Yeah, I love my Ariat boots, man. My Ariat cowboy boots are more comfortable than any boots, even more comfortable than my work boots. I love my Ariat boots. Menards. Hokas are nice. I work at a gas station. I can't afford anything expensive, honestly. My hammock was a promotion to help me be an ambassador for Dutch Wear. That's awesome, man. Yeah, North Face Storm Break 2. I think that's up actually on my list tonight. I do have one of those on the list, I believe. Those are good tents. I, I have Keen work shoes, and I like them, Ed. Yeah, Keens are good as well. I've had Keens in the past. 1954 Shadow. We'll be doing a wild self camp this weekend. We'll be using a hammock. Awesome, Shadow. I'll have to make sure to tune in to watch that for sure. Going out Friday with Skeeter. I'm not lost and I'm exploring. Oh, cool. Going out with Skeeter and Robbie both. Cole, have a good time, man. They're good guys. Have a lot of fun. Hopefully I can get some good footage out of that. I'll be interested to see that video. Bass Pro tip: if you have a Capital One credit card, Bass Pro credit card is Capital One. Sweet. Limits are much higher, yep. And they usually have a lot of ways you can save money. Like I did have a Capital One in the past. I don't have any anymore, but I'd get 5% on, I think, Bass Pro. So it's pretty good. All right. Yeah, I was wanting to try to change this back around to front facing so I could show you pictures, but if I was in my studio, I could actually turn the camera around, but I can't turn it around on this. Oh, man, I can't get to it. Last time I accidentally closed out trying to get to it. So let's see here. So we did the 2-person and the 1-person. They also call the 2-person ultralight, but not true ultralight. But everybody has a argument on what's ultralight and what's not. So see, next up is the Bass Pro item again. If you're looking for a sleep pad, let me turn the light on. It's getting kind of dark out here. It's a lot darker in here than it looks. Oh, buddy. There you go. I think that'll work. Yeah, that works. But if you're looking for a sleeping pad, the Ampex brand, just like those 2 tents, self-inflating, 72-inch long. It's got 4.8 on the reviews. It's at Bass Pro as well. It's $59.99, normally $99.99. I don't know if you can see that very well. Of course, the writing's backwards. But Ampex brand, 72-inch long, $59.99 for a really good sleeping pad. I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, yeah, you can go cheaper than that, but and it's like I said, 4.8 on the reviews is a pretty good review. The R value 6.1, which is good. That's pretty good. 3 inches thick, which is that's really good. And they say it's a 4-season, which it could do 3-season, but that's when you always have your doubled up. I always have my wool blanket, and I even use my Cosell foam roll mat underneath the air mattress just for extra protection too, in case you miss something sharp that pokes through your tent. So the 6.1, those R values are not always correct, so you can't always go by them. But that's a pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good deal. $40 off. So for name brand, really good sleeping pad, I think that would make a good one. That one would work really well in my Kura hybrid hammock or a Haven or a Amok. So I thought that was a good deal. I thought that was a really good buy for especially Bass Pro. We all know how expensive Bass Pro can be. And then that tent also in a 3-person. I meant to have it up with the other one, but they have 3-person version of that Ampex ultralight tent for $199. It's the best deal of all. It's $180 off. So obviously, if you're looking for a 2-person tent, I mean, I love my 3-person tent. I would buy the 3-person tent if it was me, because you have plenty of room for your gear and everything, and two people sleep comfortably in it. But that's a heck of a deal. $199 for that 3-person tent. See, that's what that tent at Menards is up along the quality of this one, the climate tent. And it's only $40 right now. So if you're really looking for a 3-person tent, go to Menards and get that climate tent. They still have like 2,700 in the warehouse still. Free shipping to a store if you're anywhere near a store, or they'll ship it to your house. It's not. I don't know if they'll do free shipping for $40, but I thought that was a good deal. $180 off, $199 for a 3-person. That's for name brand tent. Pretty decent. And then Mike, I thought of you when I seen this one. Mike recently earlier in the year, got a truck tent and sent to Randy and I, and we both did a review on a truck tent, which was really cool. Thank you, Mike, if you're still in here. But I thought it was a good deal. This is a $310 truck tent. It's a Napier, really good looking tent. It got 5-star review. Well, it's only got 2 reviews, but 5-star. I didn't read the reviews, but it's the Napier 3 GM truck tent for Chevy, Avalanche, or Cadillac Escalade model, and it's got the model number $159.99. It's $150 off. So if you have a GM truck or Avalanche or Cadillac Escalade, that would make you a really good truck tent. I don't know if you can see that, but these are all on Bass Pro's bargain cave. If you go to Bass Pro's website, all the way to the right on their top heading up here, there's a bargain cave. It's in the bargain cave. All these things I'm talking about from Bass Pro's in the bargain cave. So, or just go back on the video and watch it afterwards if you miss out on something. But I thought that was a pretty cool deal. I don't think I can go back to being a ground dweller. Yeah, it's hard, Ursa and Leo. Let's see here. Man, I can't get this thing to go back. Okay. What I miss? Bass Pro Tip, I got that. Limits are much higher. I just like the fish tank. I have the MSR Hubba 3, and I like 3 pounds, 13 ounces. Love that Tim. Looking at the Durston 2 as well. Yeah, those are both good Tims. Yeah, Ursa, I don't know. It's hard. I do tent camp still, but not as much. It's so much more comfortable in a hammock, no matter what kind of. I mean, my memory foam mat and roll mat and all that, it's pretty comfortable. But I have to use that in tents now because my back's jacked up. I have to have my memory foam mattress. When I did my cowboy camp over the winter, I paid for it. I just had my foam mat and my air up 1.5 inch inflatable mat, self-inflating mat. Oh, I was so sore the next day. Hey, Randy, it every Monday at 7, buddy. But yeah, I started at 7. It's okay. You don't have to. If everybody can't watch it, you can always go back and watch it later. You don't even have to watch it. But yeah, I always do 7 o'clock. And if I can't, I usually cancel it. I think I've only canceled one live, but yeah, I try to do every Monday at 7. Best 2-person tent close to Durson is the Lanshan 2. It's only 159. Yeah, 159 is a good deal. Teton Sports has a couple good deals on tents too. I didn't put them on the list today. I should have, but I was running out of time. Hey, Grace. Thanks for coming in, Grace. I appreciate you coming in. I hope you're doing well. I choose the Durston over the Z-Pack. Cut the trek poles towards the back of the tent, and the Z-Pack, the trekking pole is in the center, and I'd knock over climbing in the. Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of good tents. I would like, if I would be more into tents, there's a couple, 1-person and 2-person ultralight tents I would like to have. But the more I think about it, if I'm going to go ultralight, I usually just do my hammock. And especially in this time of year, I'm going to do a hammock just because no matter how good a tent is, if you're expecting any kind of rain, or even here, you get really bad dew. I don't like waking up wet. So being in a tent with no rain fly, normally I'll wake up wet, and I don't like that. So I'll sleep in my hammock every time with a tarp high above me so I get plenty of airflow. Just my opinion. But I know a lot of people prefer tents. You slept 14 hours of the first night on that trip. I know, man. If it usually animals, or like right now, you can hear the cicadas making so much noise, but either spring peepers, the animals sometimes end up being white noise and put me to sleep. But usually the deer snorting at me. They come up here in my base camp fairly close to me, so uh, they'll snort at me and wake me up once in a while. They're pretty loud. They let me know they're not happy. This is their campsite. I built it for them, you know. All right, next one. We're moving on from Bass Pro. I picked up some pretty decent deals, I thought, at the Academy Sports. If somebody's looking for a family tent, I try to move it around a little bit. It says 5-person tent, you know, comfortably 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky, 2 adults and 2 children, maybe. But the Magellan Outdoors Bass Drop 5-person dome tent, normally $60. It's on sale for $44.97. Pretty nice looking tent. $44.97 for a 5-person tent. Pretty darn good deal. Knock on wood, everything I've bought that's been Bass Pro brand, which is Magellan, however you want to pronounce it, has been pretty good quality. My hammocks that I've got from them have lasted. They're 4+ years old and still going. So that's a pretty good deal for a family tent. 45 bucks. Pretty good deal. It's got 4.0 on the reviews. It's not horrible, but it's burgundy and gray as the color. 12 foot in length. So, and some of these are low in stock. So more than likely, if you go look at them, they don't have them anymore. They probably ran out. That's the bad thing about Bargain Cave and about Academy's sell pages. I've noticed. I've went to buy them and they run out before you get them. Oh, that's funny. Ursa Leo, somebody was talking about the North Face Stormbreak 2. Well, it ran out earlier today. There was a couple left for shipping. Now shipping's out of stock. But man, that was a good deal. And this would have been a good deal for you. That North Face 2 Stormbreak, they may have it. You can put your zip code in, and they possibly will have some in your area. But for my area, they're out of these. But it's normally $185 for that North Face Stormbreak 2. $138.97. That's still the deal for the North Face tent. That's a good tent too. It's 4.7 on the reviews. So it might be still worth going on their website and putting your zip code in and seeing if they still have some in your local warehouse or stores in your area. Hey, Mainly, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming in. Made it for the bargain segment. Everybody's wife's worst part of my life. I've been hearing people say that. Encouraging the guys to spend money. That's never good, right? Just like hammocks, tents, outdoor gear, guns, fishing. Can't have too much, right? I mean, too much gear guy. He's got a good channel. He's got a lot of gear. My redhead backpack has a zipper problem since day one. They come unzipped while you're hiking and stuff falls out. I have to use a tiny carabiner to keep them closed. Ooh, that sucks, Randy. Yeah, definitely got to read the reviews, and even with the reviews, you can get a bad item. I mean, maybe not all of them are bad, but yeah, that's a huge inconvenience. You shouldn't have to do that. They use cheap zippers. Save you some money, bro. I'll do it, man, every time if I can. I am going to go on the carnivore diet before too much longer, but I do have a few things to eat in our house. We're trying to clean out the cupboards and stuff. But for you mainly, I'm going to do another sandwich type, but it's going to be donuts for sure. You know that. But I do have another sandwich coming up. Next time I do a breakfast, with it being this hot, I usually don't do breakfast in the morning. I might because it's so hot tonight and I'm not hungry tonight. So I may do breakfast in the morning. I don't know yet. Triple V Hennessy, how are you, man? I appreciate you coming in. Thank you, brother. Appreciate everybody giving a thumbs up if you haven't given a thumbs up, and if you like outdoor content and you like a good community, the outdoor community, this is a really good community. So subscribe and follow everybody's channel. I'll make you a moderator so you can check out everybody's channel. Thank you for coming in, Triple V. Leo won't let me go carnivore. I'm allergic to gluten. Oh, man, that sucks. You started keto today, Randy? Yeah, I think I'm going to get on the carnivore diet. There's so many good things about carnivore for your skin and health, and I've really been researching it a lot lately, and I think that's the way I'm going to go. Uh, at the very least, we're going to go back on low carb. We've done low carb like keto and stuff before, and it's done good too, but definitely going to try carnivore. But I'm going to make that breakfast sandwich before I go on carnivore. It is going to be a breakfast sandwich with donuts. I will tell you that much. Meat, 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 and more meat. Yep. Can't go wrong with that. I like chicken, fish. I like pork. I like turkey. I'm good. Says carnivore won't be good for you. I don't know. You'd have to definitely talk to your doctor. Definitely make sure it is right for you. Doing any kind of diet for sure. I'd highly recommend you talk to your primary care physician and definitely make sure it's right for you and it's okay for sure. Because some diets mess with medications, and you know your doctor will tell you whether you could do it or not for sure. Yeah, they're both really good and really good for your skin, your hair. Um, really good. There's a lot of things on keto. There's a lot of vegetables even, and that's hard to say because I've always been a huge vegetable fan. But there's some vegetables that aren't truly good for you, and it's hard for you to digest. A lot of people say that you need fiber in your diet. Well, you need fat in your diet more than you need. There's a lot of things that you can research, and like I said, it's not the same for every individual. Definitely consult your doctor and do your research for sure, and try it. If it doesn't work, you're not out anything. You can just go back to the way you was eating or try something different. Deer or buffalo, yeah, those two. Lamb is actually the probably the best meat for you as far as red meat. Lamb is definitely good for you, and pomegranate. But like if you're being carnivore, um, you know, no fruit, no vegetables. Um, but lamb, and a lot of people don't like lamb, but I love lamb really well. My wife doesn't care for it as much, but it's really good. You can't go on a diet. You can't afford new wife beaters. That's the bad thing. I do have a lot of. I did keep a box of my old clothes when some 33 and 34 weights that I haven't been in since my wife and I met, and I said I'm going to get back into those. I almost donated them, but I said no, I'm going to get back in those. Just won't eat veal. Yeah, a lot of people won't do veal for sure. Yeah, for sure, Ken. Yeah. I never recommend anybody do anything. I tell everybody eat however you want to and do what you want to do and what's best for you. I'm not one of those people that try to push my diet on somebody else. If I'm doing something, I could care less if anybody else does it. I just do my research and do the best I can do and find out what I need to find out and then go from there. Yeah, definitely a touchy subject. I'm going to hit a couple more deals here in a second. I'm going to go turn my lights on my hammock. Can you see those? I don't know if you can see those. I'd probably drink something too. I got water with electrolytes in it. Pretty good. Blackberry something. H2O. I don't remember what the flavor packs are, but they're Got electrolytes in them and get them at Walmart and stuff. Sorry, hitting a. I don't know if you can see those lights. Yeah, you can see them a little bit. Oh man, I just hit my leg on something bleeding all over the place. Luckily, I come prepared, right? I must have scratched it on this bench that I'm sitting on. Don't make me bust out my first aid kit. Oh man, it's running down my leg. I hit the same leg last week when I was out camping out at Holston Mills in the truck camp. I ripped my leg open and it's the same leg. Oh man. Glad I have my first aid kit. All right. Yeah, the thing about diets are exactly right, Ken, is most people just want to diet and not exercise. You need to exercise for sure. Even if you can't if you can't go to the gym or you don't have stuff to work out with, if you at least go on brisk walks and uh, do what you can, get active. But yeah, you definitely got to burn more calories for sure. That's why a lot of people that are on the carnivore diet don't lose weight because they don't exercise too, or you know, I've noticed not all, but a high percentage of people that are less active, it seems, have been not liking the carnivore because they're not losing weight. Well, like Ken said, if you're not burning more calories in your intake, you can't expect to lose weight. And it depends on what you eat and how much you eat. Carbs play a big part too. Your mountain bike's looking sad in the corner. Yeah, I've got a really nice mountain bike. Plus, my dad had a really nice one, and when he passed, I got his mountain bike. And when the weather gets better, I definitely want to start mountain biking. We got a really nice Frisco Trail, only 5 miles from here. Uh, it's really good for mountain biking, and it's not super hard to do. We do have some mountain bike trails that are pretty tough around here too, but I'm gonna do the Frisco Trail some more. I want to. You can ride it and camp along the way. It's I believe 35 miles from the point we pick up to Bolivar. I want to go up to Bolivar and then camp once in between, and then camp once on the way back. That'd make a good video, I guess. And where those calories come from, yeah, yep. You got complex carbs, simple carbs, um, you know, and different cuts of meat, different types of meat. Uh, make a big difference. You don't want to eat just all uh, low fat meat. You don't want to eat all sirloins. You don't want to eat all buffalo. You don't want to eat all lamb. You need the fat as far as the carnivore diet. Um, so, I mean, there's a lot of homework to do, and there's a lot of opinions on the carnivore diet too. So, um, there's a couple people on YouTube that are really good. The one doctor uh, that's into the carnivore diet really good. Really talks good about it and what's good and what's not. And I take a list of uh, carnivore diet foods and look at them all and look at the benefits and the positives and negatives. You know, as long as it's carnivore, there's better things to eat and there's not so good things to eat. So you got to just look at all that and determine um, number one, what can you afford? Number two, you know, a lot of people don't want to do carnivore because they say it's expensive. Well, your body, once you're on carnivore for a while and your stomach shrinks, you don't have to eat near as much to stay full. So you can't, it's not really that expensive if once your body gets, you know, detoxed from not eating all the garbage. Not like I'm a professional or nothing. I'm not trying to give anybody opinions or tell anybody anything. I'm just do your own homework and consult your doctor for sure. Don't ever do anything that anybody's doing. Just and definitely don't try to get off medications unless your doctor approves it. then says, I think we have a couple of long trails you can bike camp on. Awesome. And I love that because there's not a lot of that around here. Well, I say that there's quite a few in Mark Twain, but a lot of those areas you really can't do till the fall or even winter because of the underbrush is so thick and they don't maintain the trails as much. So Frisco Trail is maintained really well and it's fairly flat. They did have some hilly spots on the way up to Bolivar, but my dad and I used to try to bike it in my earlier years. I guess late 20s, I guess I was when we tried to bike it. We never did get all the way up there and back. I ended up getting hurt on one of the trips and had to stop early. So always something came up and never got to do that. I really wish I would have got to do that with my dad. Anybody wants a mountain bike, check out the Vega Rover with 29-inch Keva Central code. You can get a $700 bike for like $187. Wow, that's a good deal. I work out every day at work, LOL. Yeah, see, that's what I've always done all my life until recently. I mean, even when I'm working and doing work around here, I work pretty hard, but I've always done physical jobs too. So, I mean, if you work physically hard, that is your exercise, obviously, because you're doing more physical activity than actually working out. But yeah, mainly for like office people or people sitting at a desk all day. I mean, you can't just expect to go on the carnivore diet, especially when you first start out and eat so much um, and expect to lose weight if you're intaking more than you're burning. So yeah, but that's with everything. Every diet, any way you eat, doctors want you to exercise. Everybody, you want to exercise. I mean, that's just a no brainer. Um, that's obviously with any diet, or if you're not even on a diet, I mean, we should be exercising something. I mean, even if you go on walks. This light's attracting bugs. Let me see if I can move it back a little bit. Not mosquitoes, but gnats and moths. All right. Let me look at some more. Yeah, so that North Face tent, Ursa and Leo, you might check out on Academy Sports website and see if they anywhere in your area or close to you might have some. I thought that was a really good deal. Let's see what the next one is. Um, so starting out for families, I love watching families get out and camp, starting to camp. And a lot of people don't have a lot of money, and I understand, totally understand it. That's kind of why I'm here and want to do this segment on my lives. It's important to encourage people to get out and go camping, even if you don't have a lot of money. This is a really good deal. And of course, after looking at it earlier today, they're out of stock in my area. Of course, they had some earlier today when I made this list. But the Magellan Outdoors 5-person camping bundle is $129.97. It was $169. Was $169.99. But it comes with all that in the picture for $129. Really good. 5-person camping bundle. It comes with 2 camping chairs, a camping table, a fan. Awesome. It comes with 2 foam roll mats and 2 sleeping bags in the tent. All that for $129.99. That is a good start. Yeah, is it the best quality? Probably not, but it'll probably get you, if you take care of it all, you should get 5 years out of it if you take care of it. I know a lot of people don't take care of their stuff, but even if you get a couple years out of that, that's a good deal for $129. I love stuff like that. But there's no way you can buy all that stuff individually. Now you could go to thrift stores and buy used, obviously clearance here or there. You might be able to make a kit together for $129, but it'd be really hard. But you'd have to go to Academy's site and put your zip code in and see if they got any around your area. They're out in our area, of course. I should just be looking live at the sites and then I don't have to worry about it, but it might be worth putting your zip code in and see if some of this stuff's still available. Moving on from Academy, and I believe in it because it's American made, number one. Trevor's amazing, number two. I don't get nothing from Hanging High Hammocks at all. My code is for you guys to save 10%. But I'm gonna start pushing his stuff. I've got the code, my discount code on my bio and on my YouTube channel. I think it's David HHH 10 is the code, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but it's on my bio. But the whole hammock system that I gave away is $60. 10% off what? That's $5 off. So you're gonna, or $6 off, sorry, excuse me. So $54, and you get free shipping on that. So that's 11-foot hammock, comes with bug net, ridge line, straps, everything you need. But I would highly recommend it for sure. It comes in green or gray, stealth gray or green. Stealth gray, I don't know what they call, forest green is the two color. Everything except a tarp, and everybody's got a tarp usually to start out with. And if you don't, you can get a tarp from him. Decent tarp, like my One Wind tarp's $80. It's kind of high, but all tarps are pretty expensive for decent quality tarp. So, but I'd highly recommend Hanging High Hammock for sure. And of course, with that Hanging High Hammock, I'll show you the picture of his 12-foot hideaway tarp, just like my One Wind tarp. Got the doors on it. $80. You get $8 off for your 10% off. So we're looking at $72 for a tarp, which that is a big tarp like mine. So definitely worth it. It'll last you a long time. It's really good quality. And it's got the doors on each end for winter time or storms. So yeah, $72. That's a pretty good deal. 12-foot tarp. I think it's 10 by 12 actually. Really good deal, but I would highly recommend going over and saying hi to Trevor and trying it if you want to get into hammocks, either One Wind or Hanging High. If you want to support America, you know, I know buying One Wind still supports America when you're buying it from some of the American dealers that get it from China. But if you can afford American made and American, I always like to do it. But then again, I mean, I'm not going to spend. I can't spend. It's not that I can't. If I had the money, I'd love to get a Superior. I'd love to get a Dutch wear hammock, but my $80, $75 One Wind hammock is going to last me. If God blesses me where I can get a Dutch wear, I can get a Superior hammock or Majestic hammock from Corey, I would love to, but the only reason I haven't is I can't justify spending. I can buy 5 of the One Wind hammocks, you know what I'm saying? So for me right now, financially, I can't buy something like that. Would love to. All right, moving on. Of course, usually can't go without going to Amazon for sure. Everybody loves Amazon except me. I'll go to eBay or I'll go to Walmart and buy it usually, but everybody loves tent stakes. I don't really push these or like them necessarily myself, but they're better than the cheap stakes you get usually with your gear. So I would like these better than the stakes that normally come with gear, especially if you're only for cheaper gear. I like the all metal stakes or the all plastic stakes, but I'd prefer all metal. But I thought this was a good deal, a little over $1 a piece. You can get these at Walmart. You can get these at Academy. You can get these at Harbor Freight. but $12.99 for 12 tent stakes. These are better than the tent stakes that come with gear. The only bad drawback with them is the plastic usually breaks on them. You can still use them with the plastic. I have several that don't have any plastic on it, and you still use them. But yeah, these are better than the normal stakes, but a little over $1 a piece. I know Walmart, you can get them, I think, for 88 cents a piece, so they're a little cheaper at Walmart. But if you have a Amazon store card, you can get 5% cash back. You know, you get 5% back on. I know some people have the Prime store card, um, so it'd make it a little cheaper than Walmart on the steaks. But 12.99, I thought was a pretty good deal. I need to get me some more steaks for sure. Tent steaks, not beef steaks. Okay, I'm ignoring some of the chat. I'm sure you need a fly strip. Yep. Not so many flies out here tonight. Actually, I'm really surprised. It's moths and I've seen a few beetles and some lightning bugs kind of attracted to the light. Knock on wood, the mosquitoes are good tonight and the flies are good, but it's usually moths, gnats, and um, beetles right now. Do not let your best friend be your cameraman and producer. Leo posted a video she thought was going to be funny, and I let go getting my hammock into its stuff sack. Getting the best. See, that's the channels I like the most is the ones that don't edit out all the stuff. And um, like I've said many times in the past, Carlisle 195 that I've watched forever on YouTube. He's had a baby the last 2 years, and he stopped doing YouTube for now. And he just sets his camera down and he does his thing, and he still is my number one favorite. No offense to anybody, YouTube channel out there. If he was still making content, he'd be right on my top list of watching, along with everybody else's. But uh, love that. I don't. I'm not watching YouTube myself to watch a movie. If I was, I'd be on Netflix or something else watching movies. I'm not a Hollywood producer, never will be. I'm not ever going to have Hollywood produced movie outdoor videos. If that's your thing, you're just going to have to go somewhere else because I'll never, no matter what software, no matter how good I get at editing, that's not, I just want to document my trips. You know, I'm not into putting a bunch of music. I'm not into putting a bunch of fancy editing in. That's just not me. I just want to document my trips. That's it. You know, um, would it get me more views? Maybe. Worrying about my thumbnails, is that going to get me more views, more clicks, more subscribers? Maybe. Um, Everybody will tell you what to do, but I'm on YouTube just to have fun. If I get more subscribers, I do. If I ever get monetized, I do. If I don't, I don't. I've got what I've got. What I have right now is what I've wanted to get from YouTube is a community. This means more to me than making a dime off YouTube. Yeah, everybody wants to, but if I don't, I'm content because I'm doing what I love doing. I get to chat with you guys, which is awesome. I love this part of the week, getting to talk to everybody and getting to know everybody. Um, this is my payment. If I ever make a little bit to buy new gear and to pay for a few things, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, everybody would love that, but everybody'd love to make enough not to have to work a 9 to 5, but it's not reality for everybody. We all know that. His complete setup is on sale right now. Yeah, he's got several complete setups that are a really good deal. Plus, if you get that 10% off, and if you buy the complete deals from him, you get I think $30 or $40 off those complete sets too. So you'll get more than my 10%, I believe. See, I think one of them's $189. So what, 190? That's $19 off at 10%. So yeah, the $30 is going to be a better deal. So if you buy one of his complete packages, you'll I think it's $30 you save or something like that. What is HHH? HHH is stands for hanging high hammocks. So it's David HHH10, I believe is my code, but it's on my profile, whatever. I believe that's it. Yeah, the good setup's 210. Ironic, haha, for 189. Yeah, 189. And I believe if you buy, I don't know, if you buy the whole setup, you get another discount, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I put something in the shopping cart, 3 items in, and he gives you a discount on it somehow. But at the very least, if you use my code on top of that, I believe you still get 10% off. So it'll help you. I don't get anything for it. So yeah, buy me a coffee and all that. But, not everybody will support you in that either. So that's one thing until you get a big enough following or people like you well enough to support you. Um, and that's one thing I'm never going to ask for is I'm never going to ask for any help. I'm never going to ask for Uh, if I ever get memberships, I'm not going to ask people to do it. I may do them, but I'm not ever going to promote them. If people want to, they can. I'm not ever going to mention if I have a wish list. I'm not ever going to mention that I have PayPal or buy me a coffee. If people want to support you, they will. If they don't, um, and I know some people won't support you unless you ask, and I'm just not one of those people that ask. I just think I heard the deer. Hey, Shy Guy Adventures, how are you, brother? Appreciate you coming in. How's everything up in New York? I appreciate you coming by, man. I live stream every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you ever want to stop by, go ahead and stop by. Another brother we met up there in Pennsylvania at Tony's Meetup. Shy Guy Adventures just started his new channel. So I appreciate you guys going to his channel and uh, watching him. And like I said, he just started his YouTube channel. So we'll give him a look-see and likes, and he'd appreciate that. Really nice guy. Lil needs to get an underquilt. Yeah, definitely need to get an underquilt. You're gonna start getting in some cold weather. Forgot to tell you, the thumbnail for the live looks cool. I appreciate that, Den. Yeah, I've been messing around with a lot of stuff, making a few, trying to get a few for, I usually change it. That's usually my thumbnail I use before I go live, because after I go live, I usually grab something from the actual live footage to use as a thumbnail. I guess I wouldn't have to, but a lot of people um, like actual footage, I guess. I don't know. I've been thinking about leaving those as the actual thumbnail, but if you pull something off the actual footage, it kind of gives them more of an idea of what the live's more about. So I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it and see what works. Yeah, it has been hot for sure, man. It's hot here too. It was 104 heat index here, and it was about I can't remember what the humidity was when I came outside, but it was like 75%. Wasn't excruciatingly high, but it was a little higher than the last couple days. Not a problem, man. We all got to start somewhere. But this is a good community, man. Everybody get your back, and it's good to hang out here. Everybody's really cool. I've made so many good friends, and including you, and getting to see Tony and everybody at the meetup, and everybody in our group here, core group that hangs out here. Such awesome people. Yeah, dry heat definitely isn't as bad. Daniel, that usually comes in here, TD Knives, he's out in Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix for a while. I love it out in the Southwest. Yeah, it's a lot hotter, but you don't realize how hot it is because you don't have the humidity. So as long as you stay in the shade and don't overexert yourself, it's bearable when it's low humidity. But man, when it's 75 and 100% humidity, man, it feels like 100 degrees for sure. Yeah, this is an awesome community. I love it. Really awesome. That's why we do what we do. And, everybody's dream on YouTube obviously is to have your channel make it. But I mean, it depends on what you want in life and what you want out of YouTube is whether you deem you've made it or not. If your only goal is to get monetized, it's a very low percentage that even gets the first tier monetized, let alone the second tier. Um, I just started just document my trips. If people wanted to watch, they wanted to watch. Like I say, I'm never going to have fancy camera work and editing and really cool music and worry about getting the best shots. And that's just me. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, if that's what you enjoy doing, do it. I don't really enjoy doing that myself. And I like the ASMR. I know most people don't like the ASMR. Personally, over half of my channels I watch are ASMR. That's my favorite. I like hearing what they hear. I like the nature sounds. Yeah, and some of them are big channels, some of them are small channels. But they say ASMR isn't popular, and ASMR you don't make it well. Over half of the channels I do watch are ASMR, and over half of them are 100,000 plus channels. So it is popular, and I like it. Not that I don't like talking videos too. I do, but I do like ASMR really well. Let's see here. I miss PA. Lived there 30 years. Sub to Shy Guy. Awesome. Yeah, Pennsylvania is so cool. I'm dying. Hello. Yeah, that humidity's bad. There's a few videos I'll be uploading in the future where I was out camping and I was so hot and humid. Yeah, it makes it miserable. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This time of year, I know most of you understand. I know Ozarks Woodsman Randy will agree. Majority of people don't like getting hot and humid, and I notice most of the channels that are pumping out content this time of year are in a cooler climate. Like Luke Total Outdoor Gear Review, he's up in mountains in North Carolina, and he can get up there where it's cooler, um, which is nice. Um, but yeah, a lot of creators in the summer, man, don't pump out the content like they normally do just because of how hot it is and humid. Yeah, I like your Shy Guy. Yeah, I really like the ASMR. Nothing wrong with it, you know. I appreciate that, Ursa. Yeah, just email me a address and I'll send you out some stickers. I did get my new stickers in, so I'll send you a few stickers. Yeah, 92%, 92 degrees and humid again tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 94 again here tomorrow. I can't remember what the forecast of humidity level here for tomorrow is, but it's up there too. So yeah, it's going to be miserable until I think Wednesday or Thursday is when the rain's supposed to move in, and it's supposed to drop into the upper 80s finally. We're getting a little bit of break on the temperature, but the rain and humidity is going to be bad. So, all right, let me get back on some more cell segment. See, the stakes is what I used left off on. I'm like Tony Squirrel. All right. Now, this isn't really necessarily an outdoor item. I consider it is as if you're car camping, especially, or you're in an RV. It'd work good on your boat, your houseboat den. But I thought this was a really good deal. They're vacuum packed vacuum bags for travel. Comes with 15-pack carry-on size, and it actually comes with a pump. Normally $46. It's $33.99. Really good deal. So if you have an RV or your car camping or they come in real handy when you're going on a trip. So if you are going on a camping trip, you can put a lot of stuff, your clothes, toiletries. I love vacuum bags. I store a lot of stuff in my basement in vacuum bags, blankets, and all different kind of stuff. Memory foam mattress I even have in a vacuum pack bag down there. But I thought that was a really cool deal. It comes with that pump and 15 bags. Really good deal. You really don't think about it, but if you have a RV, they're really, really awesome. Boats, you can put fishing lures and gear in vacuum bags. Work super good. Uh, you can put a lot of stuff in your storage in your boat in some vacuum bags. Looks really good. Plus, with that mini vacuum, you can vacuum it up after you're done. Looks really good. Skeeter, brother from another mother's here. How are you doing, Skeeter? It's all right, Shy Guy. I understand, man. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. Skeeter. Skeeter's the new guy here, so you go subscribe to him, like his channel. Yeah, he's new to YouTube, so make sure you go over there and give him a like and a subscribe. Share his content. Get him out there. Yep. Everybody subscribe to Skeeter and Mrs. Skeeter. Yeah, we need to go to Walmart again. If I get back up there in this next year for Tony's meetup, I'd like to do that again for sure. That's a long trek. 16 and a half hours is a long drive. Not to mention expensive. Not a problem, Skeeter. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'm just doing my sales segment. Those vacuum bags, I thought it was a good idea. I thought maybe people laugh at me, but they got 4.5 on the reviews, 15-pack carry-on with the vacuum sealer. Make a great outdoorsman storage, putting camping gear in it. And I put everything in sealed, waterproof totes down in my basement, but you can even put your extra blankets, your extra hammocks, your extra smogs, whatever you got, you can vacuum seal and make a lot more room in your tote. So I thought it was a good idea. And it was a little bit on sale. It was $33.98 and it's normally $45.99. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Let's see here. What's the next thing here? Next thing is cookware set. I love cookware sets, especially for new campers. This is a really good. I got excited about this. I love deals. Kind of like Adventures with Ken said last week. He likes the cook set. This is a 14-piece cook set, Wado camping cookware mess kit with a 7,200-watt camping stove. $55.99. It's not really on sale unless you use your Amazon card, but for $55.99, look what you get. You get all of that. You get the cookware, you get the stove, the stove comes with a nice adapter for the small gas cans and the large propane cans. Nice case for the stove. Your ladle and your spoon set, fork set, your carry bag, all that for $55.99. Is it high quality? Probably not. The stove, I know the stove, Luke from Total Outdoor Gear does have that stove, and it's a good stove. Works very good. Almost too good. It burns super hot, but it has an igniter on it. It does come with the adapter for both bottles, but it comes with a pot, frying pan, a carrying case, Comes with the utensils, ladle, cup. I mean, $55. Come on. I mean, that's pretty cheap. But yeah, if you know anybody that wants to get camping and wants to start out kit, and yes, you could backpack with this. It's not ultra light, but you could backpack in with that setup. But it's going to have everything you need besides your water container, obviously. $55.99, good deal, real good deal in my books. Not the best of deal, but it's good deal. It'd serve you well. And if you don't like nonstick, a lot of people, I like the stainless steel too. But you can take the nonstick coating off of it with not a whole lot of effort. If you have any kind of power tools at all, you can take that nonstick coating off. But then you're going to deal with aluminum for a lot of that cheaper cookware, so you're probably better off just to leave the nonstick on and just use uh, plastic utensils in it. Don't use metal utensils in it, obviously. But I got kind of excited because you can get those little camp stoves fairly cheap, $20 and under. So if you don't want the nonstick, here's a stainless steel set, $29.99. Really good deal. You can save 10 or 15% off if you use an Amazon card. But here's a stainless steel cook set for $29.99. Comes with all that. Really good deal. Awesome deal. This is on Amazon. I thought that was a really good deal. $29.99, all stainless. That would last you literally forever. I mean, the worst thing that would happen is if you break a handle off or something, but you could get just one of those grippers to still use the kit, even if you lose your handles on the pots and pans and stuff. You can use one of those little grippers. So for $29.99 for 14 pay per 14 piece stainless steel, good deal. I'm sure you guys probably agree with that, especially for somebody just starting out. Lil Ursa, I'd like to go to the meetup, but I'm going to see Tony in September in PA and January in Florida and probably November the Woolly Swamp. Yeah, you're gonna be busy. Out of funds too, probably. Appreciate that, Shy Guy Ventures. Yeah, just if they subscribe to your channel, you'll get a notification on the notification bell that somebody subscribed to you they've got their if they don't have their subscriptions hidden. I don't know if you have that hidden, but like when somebody subscribes to my channel, if you don't have your subscriptions hidden, I get notification that you sub to my channel. A lot of people have that turned off for some reason. I don't know why, but I like that, knowing that way I can resubscribe to people if I like their content and watch it. But that's why I like giving people moderator status in here so you can check out each other's channels. And don't get offended if somebody's channel isn't exactly what you want to watch. I mean, if you want to subscribe to them, but I feel bad about subscribing to people and not supporting their channel. So, but if you're trying to help somebody get subscribers right away, obviously getting subscribers help. But if they don't support your channel after getting the subscribers you want, it doesn't really help your growth after that. Yes, that's where I met David. Yep. Skeeter and I got to do that stealth camp at the Walmart where Tony did his first stealth camp. Camping with Champion, Sam Northwest Wind, Hammock Mountain, Daniel, and Skeeter and I did our 5-person stealth camp at the Walmart there. Awesome. That was so much fun. Yep. That Saturday night. And then, of course, Tony, Daniel, Sam, and Todd did a camp at the I-80 and 81 interchange Sunday night. Yeah, I was glad I got to meet you, man. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun meeting everybody at the meetup, especially in the community here. I mean, I've got some really good friends here locally, and but we meet up every year with, and uh, they're really good friends, and I really cherish their friendship, and enjoyed getting to meet uh, the six of you that I've met um, last year. That was a lot of fun, and Lord willing, we'll get to meet again this next year, 2026. I'm excited. I like the notification too, David. Yeah, I do too. That's really nice. It just helps you keep track of all your new subscribers, and it helps you to find their channel and resubscribe back, and just helps you connect with them a little bit more. Hopefully, they comment on your videos and stuff, so you can reach out to them that way too. But yeah, I had to go in, and I don't know if that's a default setting that YouTube does, but yeah, I had to go in and actually um, turn it on or turn it off, I guess it would be. So I'd get people would know when I subscribe to their channel. Almost halfway to 50. Awesome, Ursa Leo. Start doing you some lives, and it's fun. I personally like doing lives just for the personal interaction with my subscribers in the community. Uh, of course, when the fall hits and it's not so hot and I can do more content, I'm doing more long form and my lives again. But I've been integrating my campouts with my live. I didn't do the setup like I normally do tonight just because it was so hot today. I didn't want to overexert myself and be rushed and trying to stop and do comments and everything. So I took it a little more easier tonight. I remember when you had a hot dog and you were filming at Knoebels. Oh, well. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Nolan and I from Mission Discover kept going back and snagging some hot dogs. It was funny. I forget how many he said he had. It was so funny. I was like, I'm gonna go get me another one. I was walking around with a hot dog. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, Skeeter, for subscribing to each other. Yeah, if nobody hasn't subscribed to each other, make sure you check out each other's channels and give everybody a hot dog. Don't eat me. I'm the hot dog man. That was funny. And then you dropped your hot dog on the ground. Yep. Good old time, Skeeter. That was pretty hilarious. I think there's a hang in Oklahoma. Is there really? You'll have to check that out. But definitely nothing in Missouri and Arkansas around here that I know of. So I'd like to get one going and a yearly thing. I have to figure out when. Early spring, I'd like to do. Hey, our PR Fishing Journal, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for coming in. You doing okay tonight? I'm just out here at Basecamp. You probably can't see it. I could go and turn on the uh, other lantern over here so maybe you can see my setup more. I don't know if you can see anything any better. Well, you can see a little bit, not much. You can see the tarp. I got my one wind hammock underneath my tarp. Got my tarp real high for good airflow tonight. Got my fan. Looks good. Oregon, after I move, you're moving in Oregon in April? Cool. I don't have the money to travel a lot or the time, so that's my big issue is, a lot of stuff happens on the East Coast and I can't travel. It costs too much to fly and too much to drive even in time. It took a whole week out of our time for Randy and I driving to Pennsylvania and back. So awesome. This is what I love seeing. I love seeing everybody subscribing to one another and building our community. That's what it's all about. All right. All right. That camp and cook set $29. That was an awesome deal. Let's see what else I got on the list. Need to keep moving. Get distracted like squirrels, like Tony, huh? I like Tony's new shirt. That's awesome. So I'm a big supporter in wool. I love wool items. But this is the 64-inch by 88-inch wool military. It says wool military blanket, military style blanket. Obviously, it isn't from the military, but it's a military style blanket. 4.6 on the reviews. It's 4.5 pounds. Obviously, wool's heavy, but it's a good insulator for. I always use it in the wintertime a lot. $39.99 is a really good deal for that big of a wool blanket. It's a lot like the wool blanket that I had. One of my wool blankets that I have that I bought. I like the color, the brown and the gray. But a wool blanket that size for under $40 is a good deal. They have it in olive green. They have it in ember. They have it in chocolate. They have it in charcoal, blue. Oh man, they've got 11 different colors for $40. That's a heck of a deal for a new one. Now, like I said, I just found a wool blanket at Goodwill for $7.50, but they're few and far between because everybody picks those up when they see them. But yeah, $39.99. I think I paid 50 or 55 for mine, so that's a good deal. And these are all Amazon, of course. Here's another Amazon. Now you don't think about it. This is definitely go in your first aid kit or your repair kit, whatever you want to call it. I've used a genuine U.S. Marine Corps wool blanket, and I'm itchy just thinking about it. Yeah, it's always good to put some other blanket with it. I always team it up with like my Kelty Bestie blanket, or put it on top of a sleeping bag, or I'll put it underneath my roll mat or on top of my inflatable blanket. I'll put a barrier in between me and the wool. Obviously, I don't want the wool on my skin, but always put a barrier in between you. One of those military ponchos makes a good barrier. Gita! Awesome. You guys are awesome. Okay. Getting back to what I was looking at. This item's only $3.99. And I don't know why it hit me that I was so excited about it. It's this kind of stupid, but I always do a lot of repairs. I like hand sewing. But like if you rip out your bug net, or heaven forbid something rips, your clothing, you fix it. But I thought this was really good deal. And you get 3 of them for $3.99. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but these are little sewing. You put the thread in. You can't really see it. Let me hold this up here. But you put the thread in the side of it, and it threads it through the eye of the needle for you. They're little sewing. It holds the needle for you. I don't know if you can see that, but you get 3 of them for $4. But that'd be really handy to put in your first aid kit or your repair kit, along with some thread. But it threads the thread through the eye of the needle for you and holds your needle. I thought that was so cool. I'm always up for little trinkets like that. I shouldn't say trinkets. That's really works really good. But for it to thread the thread through the needle for you, and like I said, you're always wanting to repair, your gloves out in the field, your tarp, your hammock, your tent. Yeah, 3 for $3.99. That's a good deal, I think. Call me stupid, but at least have a needle and thread in your kit. But that holds and threads the needle for you. When you got eyes like mine, you can't hardly see to thread a dang needle anymore. Can I splice? I wouldn't say good, no. Um, Let me just say I can attempt to splice, but no. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up. Never mind. Just home bond with the no funds to get back out there. We be out for a few days. I went live a little bit ago. Oh yeah. Sorry I missed that. I've been trying to get on all your lives. Most of the time you see me in there, Skeeter, I know, but sometimes I go in there and I may not comment if I'm busy and can't comment or at least watch and support your channel, but sometimes I don't always comment. A lot of the lives, sometimes, even if I don't make it in, I'll watch them later. And I try to comment on people's lives after the live because it does help. It helps the algorithm get your live viewed later too. Works really good if you comment on the live afterwards. So I've been trying to do that. Need to do it more though. Awesome. Everybody's subbing to everybody. That's awesome. That's the best thing you can do for me is sub to each other and build our community. Everybody's awesome. But I thought those solar kit things were pretty cool. And then of course, a little higher end cook set where was on cook sets a while ago. I thought this fire maple, I love fire maple products. I like the little lantern I've got. I thought about starting that up tonight, but I didn't get it out. I got it with me, but I didn't get my little gas fire maple lantern I've got. But if you're looking for a nice little cook set and it comes with a plate, $22.17. Awesome deal for a three-piece cook set. Fire maple. I love fire maple products. Really good deal. Lightweight. Non-stick. So if you're not into non-stick, you probably wouldn't like it, but as long as you use wooden or plastic utensils and, don't scratch it up, it'll last a lifetime. But most people, when they're cleaning it, use scrubbies on it and scratch the coating and use metal utensils. That each to their own. A lot of people don't like aluminum either. So whatever you want to use it. Whatever you can afford, get the best of what you can afford. Just like Mike said earlier, get the best under quilt for the money, the warmest one for your money. And you can double and triple up under quilt if you have a 3 cheap, one Tiger's under quilt, double, triple them up. There's no reason you can't do that. All right. Next one, of course, as you can see, I'm kind of in the cook set mode. I showed it on Menards last week, the Yuko set. There's 2 of them. This is another 6-piece Yuko mess kit. Bowl, plate, cup, and switch fork utensils for $27.90. Normally $30. It's not super on sale, but that's another cook kit that's really good quality. Another good company to support. But if you're looking for a good cook set, well, I wouldn't call this a cook set, to eat off of. Cup, bowl, fork and knife, spoon. $27. You're not going to go wrong with that. Be a good one to start out with. Yep. Out here at camp, Basecamp, you really can't see much. You can see the lantern that I turned on. Got my fairy light, and then I got my tarp, and then my one wind. You can't really see my hammock back there. But I do have my hammock set up. I'm going to camp out tonight. It is cooling down fairly decent. Better than I thought it was going to. That's saying something. I say it's cooler. I want to get the hammock lights like yours. Yeah. If you're on Temu's absolute best place to get them. Mine right now are like under $9 for mine. They're the same one that Balm Outdoors has. Herbert T Outdoors bought the set like mine, but his is the multicolored lights. Mine are the warm light. But But even on Amazon, you can get them for like $12 or $15. But I'm cheap. I mean, if I can save $4 or $5, I'll go to Temu. As long as now Temu has a lot of U.S. warehouses in the U.S., so you can always look. You can search U.S. Only, and that way you can get it 2 to 5 days instead of waiting weeks. But yeah, I think my light on there is $8.50 right now. I seen it on Amazon this morning for $13.99 or $12.99 or something like that. So I'll say $4. I'm okay with it. I can buy some fishing lures or something along with it. Tokes came out with a new ultralight stove. Didn't advertise it for anything. Just boom, dropped it for sale for like $20. $20? That's a good deal for titanium for sure. Bought on Jack's or Better camp blanket. I haven't really looked at the Jack's or Better camping blanket. I'll have to check that out and get back to you on that, Eartha. Leo. Have not really looked at that. Tony's fire maple thing he has that's like a flat top grill is really cool. Yeah, that is kind of cool. Yep. I like the fire maple hammock table that he's got too. I really want that too. I just haven't pulled the trigger on getting that yet, but I would like to have that fire maple uh, little table for the side of the hammock. Hey, David Hurley, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Just doing my little sell segment for the week. Remember, all questions need 3 question marks. Appreciate that, David. Appreciate that a lot. I'm back. Sam from the Northwest Wind says hi. All right, man. Thank you. Tell him I said hi. I try to keep in touch with him a lot. We got pretty good friendship going, me and Sam, ever since the meetup in Pennsylvania. It was good getting to know him. Yeah, it was really great, wasn't it, Peter? Really appreciate every one of you. So it was well worth going to the meetup, getting to meet all of you guys. All right, let me see what else I got on the sales segment. After that UCO cook set, this is really popular. I know Luke at Total Outdoor Gear Review loves the Teton Sports camp pillow. If you're looking for a camping pillow, they sell these. Menards has their brand that's really similar to the Teton camping pillow. $17.99. The Teton Sports camping pillow comes in 2 different styles of plaid, a gray plaid and a black plaid. But a good camping pillow for $17.99. It's not really on sale, but I thought that was a good price for a good camping pillow. I know the one from Menards I've got around the same price, and I really like it. Good deal on a camping pillow. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen when I show you. All right. I thought this next item, it wasn't on sale, but I think it's really cool. I've got camping cots when I go truck camping or tent camping, car camping. And I like the Night Cat tent cot, but I've already got, you can buy the tent by itself for $100, or they came out with a screened in, and it's got a solid top for like dew and stuff. But for $60, normally $65, they came out with a screened in tent for your cot. So I may try that instead of spending $100 for the tent and just get that, because you can use a tarp over the top of it if you get bad weather. But when I'm truck tent camping and I don't want to use my pop-up canopy and I want bug protection. That's I think a really cool idea. When I throw my cots in the back of my truck, I could put those cot tents on and not have to deal with the bug. And I don't have to put my pop-up canopy and my bug net over my pop-up canopy. I thought that was a good deal for $60. Like I said, it's not really on sale unless you use your Amazon store card or something like that. I thought that was a good deal. Let's see here. Next item, obviously another Amazon item. But I thought this was pretty cool. Getting into some self-inflating pads. I haven't really done a lot of pads, sleeping pads, but this is a 4.3 R value. Gear Doctor self-inflating camping pad, 1.5 inch thick. So it's a lot like my Kura self-inflating pads I got. It's not on sale, but for $37.99, and it's got 4.4 on the reviews. Pretty good reviews. Pretty decent little. It wouldn't be a winter pad unless you combined it with something else. I always do a close foam cell mat underneath of mine anyways, just to protect better and for more insulation. But for $37.99 for a self-inflating pad with that good reviews, I think that's a pretty good buy. Definitely glamping, but when you get old like me and older like more people that Tony, and you get over 50 years old, you got to have a pad. I do anyways. I'll be paying for it if I try to sleep without at least a foam pad minimum. But even a foam pad, I'm hurting the next day. I thought that was a good deal on the pad. Let's see what else. Trying to see. I know I missed some. Oh, I skipped a couple tents actually. I went to the inflatable mattresses, but Nature Hike has a couple. Nature Hike Cloud River 2 3-person tent, normally $90. It's on sale for $67. Really good tent. It's the Cloud River 2 3-person tent, 4.5 on the review, $67.99. Pretty nice tent. That's a really good buy too. Nature Hike's got a good product. That's a good tent. Okay, self-inflating mattress. And then I think I got a One Tigress Light Dream sleeping pad, 4.8 on the reviews. R value, 4.5 on the R value. 3 seasons, 2-inch mattress for $59.99. I think that's a pretty good deal for the R value, 3 inches. It's a pretty nice looking mat from One Tigers. So that gives you a few items. I think that's the last item I had on my deals. Like I said, that one's not on sale. Oh no, I've got a couple more items. I got 2 more items. Trekology has a mattress, 4 inches, 7.2 on R value. Like you said, take the R value at what it is. It's not accurate, but it's pretty good though. 4 inches thick, $60.99. $60.99. That's a nice mat. That's a really good buy. Trekology's got a good company. 4.2 on the reviews, so not too bad. That'd be more for glamping, of course. And then the last one I have is the Climate. It's their static V sleeping pad. It's 4.4 on the reviews. Um, I don't know what the R value is. Let me look here. Um, I'd have to look deeper in R value. It's more of a warm weather pad. Static V Climate, $39.99. That's a pretty good deal. But I would consider it more of a warm weather sleeping pad. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Yeah, that was a pretty good deal. But yeah, that's my little segment on stuff I think's a good deal or good buy. Obviously, stuff on sale. Sorry, I was trying to get through that. I thought 45 is old. Yeah, 45 is old. I mean, you start feeling different at 40. Definitely, you don't recover from pains and stuff. When I noticed when I hit 40, but 45 definitely you start feeling at 50. Um, but man, yeah, I cannot camp without a mat of some sort anymore. I can't do it. I used to be able to just throw my sleeping bag down on the ground and camp. I could do it, but I wouldn't. I'd be feeling it for a couple weeks afterward if I could even get off the ground. My yellow pack is from Nature Hike. Awesome. Yeah, Nature Hike has a good product. I don't see anything wrong with them or One Tigers. I know there's so many people that's just hell bent on not buying them because they're Chinese, but I mean, 90% of what we get in America is Chinese or overseas somewhere made. It's really hard to get fully American made stuff, and when we do, they make it so astronomically expensive and try to justify it worth it because it's American made. Um, they need to get prices down where we can manufacture all this stuff here in the U.S. We just need to start doing that more. Bring more companies back to the U.S. and do more manufacturing over here. So, but if you can get it 4 times cheaper or 5 times cheaper from China, of course you're going to do it. Especially if you're on a fixed income. They can't fault people for not supporting all the American companies because you just can't afford. I can't afford to go out and buy a $400 hammock like I would like to have when my $75 hammock is fine for me. If like I said, if I get means to buy one, even at that, I'm pretty frugal. Even if I had $400, I don't know that I would spend $300 or $400 still on a hammock. Um, I sleep just fine in my one win. Nothing against anybody else. I'm not saying that's what you should do. If you want to, whatever hammock, buy it. Buy what you want. Buy once, cry once. But yeah, I can't afford. I can't even afford a $200 hammock or $100 hammock's even a pinch for me. Um, buy the best that you can afford. And that's the only advice I'm going to give anybody. Let's see here. Lots of laugh. I'm a 50s retired U.S. Army veteran here and love the outdoors. Yep. Peter, you're a machine, man. You're out there, man. That's what I like about people like Skeeter and Ken and all these really awesome vets that are injured. Some people are disabled vets and they still getting out in the outdoors. They're tough as nails, man. Trying it, succeeding at it, and doing it. There's no reason. You know, um, I've had surgeries in my neck and need it in my back and my knees, but I'm gonna keep going as long as I can. I love my Ozark 10 by 10 dark rest tent. Great for those that love being able to sleep in with the sun blinding you. Yeah, shy guy, absolutely. Those darkening tents are pretty good technology. I did hear Luke from Total Outdoor Gear was like, "Why would you want that?" It's like exactly like you're saying, sleeping in the morning a little extra couple hours because the sun pops up at 5:30, 6 a.m. You want to sleep till 7 or 8. Those are nice. Or just get your eye covers. Those work too. But it helps keep a tent extra few degrees cooler too. Yep. Thank you for your service, Skeeter. We appreciate you. You too, Ken, and anybody else that I don't know in here that a vet. Thank you for your service for our country. Where's the donation button? I don't have I don't have the means to I don't have the 3,000 watch hours yet for the 500 subscribers, so I can't take any donation. Only donations I've got are buy me a coffee, PayPal, and it's in my description. But yeah, I haven't been able to hit I've got the 500, but I'm real close to the 3,000 watch hours, so I can't do that in chat for super chats and memberships yet until I hit that 3,000. I'm like 500 watch hours away. So if you guys want to watch all my old stuff, let it run in the background and get me some more watch hours, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to get to that 3,000 this year. I I'm on the road to hit the 4,000, but that's that's if I get the 1,000 before the year's up. What's up, Randy? Let's see here. Do my best. Yeah, you do, Skeeter. You do good. Tell Mrs. Skeeter I said hi. You're welcome, Skeeter. Appreciate you. I will get better. Trust me. I have a lot of plans coming out soon. Yeah, I bet you do, man. I'm looking forward to that collab between you, Cole, and Robbie. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see your video on that. You just have to go to buy me a coffee either through I went through the website. Just go to buy me a coffee website and sign up. It's pretty easy. I've got a PayPal. I've got to buy me a coffee. And of course, everybody's got an Amazon wish list. I've got a Temu wish list. But yeah, I don't expect anybody to support me right now if they don't want to, but it'd be cool, you know, helping for gas money when I go camping and stuff. Like when you go fishing, Skeeter, and buying bait and gas, helping buy tires when you went on your vacation. That was kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I say with our community. I know if you don't have time to watch, I mean, I know a lot of us we're subscribed to a lot of channels and we can't watch every channel, every bit of content. Um, but my core group in our community, I watch religiously. And if I'm so busy and I can't watch, I'll at least let it run in the background. And then when I do have time, I'll go back and watch it later. But I mean, even some of the stuff that you haven't watched, the old stuff that's, your first stuff that I know is no good, or I was just playing around with my kids when I first started my channel. Um, but yeah, just letting videos run in the background does more for a channel than anything. I appreciate you, David Hurley. I really do. I thank you. Um, I'm just out here doing what I do, and I can't wait till it cools down a little bit more, and I got a little more time so I can start doing my weekly video and live both. So I've kind of been trying to integrate camping during the live just so it's not just sitting in my studio. That's right, Ken, you did. Man, I bet you, I kid you not, I don't know how many channels. I'm subscribed to way too many. And you don't have to resubscribe when somebody subscribes. If it's a channel that I think I'm going to at least try to watch the video or to check out, I'll subscribe. But there are just some channels that you just know you'll never support or you're not interested in. But I know getting the subscription to get you to 500,000, I know you need to get that and you try to subscribe to everybody, but I also tried to subscribe, once I get to the subscribers I want, my watch hours, I really need to thin out my subscriptions, the channels I know that I'm not going to be able to support. Because I mean, when you've got hundreds of subs that I sub to, man, it is so hard to, like I said, everybody knows, I've got 20, at least 20 minimum channels that I support regularly weekly. And because YouTube's my only form of TV. So I watch a lot of YouTube. And when I camp, especially in the winter, there's a lot of times that I can watch people's videos because I have, it gets dark so early. And yeah, it is hard. And, when Ken sent me that channel, the last two you sent me, I watch them religiously. Outdoors, what is it? The um, outdoor cowboy. He's pretty good, and then outdoor Joe. I watch his videos. I really like both of them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to set my foot down and say I can't subscribe to too many more. If I do, I'm gonna have to switch out for other channels because, yeah. I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, I'd like to subscribe to all of them, but I'm gonna end up with 2,000 channels I've subscribed to, and what good is it if I'm not helping support the channels? I know they need subscribers too to get to that 500,000, and I get that. Let's see here. I found a new just Steve, Skeeter, Tony, Camping and Champion, and Northwest Wind. Yep. Yeah, I watch all those guys too, and along with all of our all of our community people, I watch their channels and support everybody that has channels. I know a lot of people don't have channels, but yeah, everybody here watches Steve Wallace. That's big in our community. Shy guy, he's the OG of stealth camping for sure. I love it, man. My favorite video of all time of Steve Wallace still is my all-time favorite is when he camped behind uh, that city sign and he had that butane stove and the butane stove caught on fire. I bet I've watched that video 3 or 4 times. Oh, it's hilarious. He was cooking behind the welcome sign and that butane stove caught on fire and he threw it on the ground. It was so funny. I love Steve Wallace. Same way I don't subscribe to channels that are inactive for a long time. Yep, are different than mine. I also won't sub to channels that have been active for a long time. Yeah, they need to be putting some kind of content out. I mean, unless it's really good. Now, I did go back and watch all of John from Carlisle 195. I've watched all his videos numerous times over and over again. I really like watching him that good. I pray he gets back on YouTube someday. I really like his stuff. I know I'm joking. I figured you was joking, but man, he's the best, man. I mean, he a lot like he says he's not a professional or anything, and he's funny. I mean, he's different. He's funny. I mean, he's got good ideas and he's got bad ideas, but he just does what Steve does. It's funny. You may shake your head at it, and you're just like, "What?" Like that last culvert that he made into a makeshift bear trap. That was hilarious, man. That was funny. Only Steve Wallace would come up with that. Yeah, he also made a blooper of that. Yeah, funny. Uh, let's see here. I remember how he said he was always afraid of the dog wandering off and finding him self camping, and then it happened. Yeah, so many things has happened to him. Other than a bear, he's like super paranoid about bears. Man, I gotta get that light away from a little bit. Tracking them bugs. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, he's had a bear come within viewing distance, but not up in this camp, man. That would send him over the edge, I think. You talked to Steve Wallace a couple times about barrel boats. Yeah, you get some ideas from him. Yeah, I liked watching those videos of him and uh, Crazy Neighbor. making those float trips. That was awesome watching those. Ahead of the curve. Yep, he was. Man, he really set the bar for Hammock Mountain and Tony and all of us that's done any stealth camping. And I've done a lot in the past in my younger years. Of course, we started recording a couple here lately. I've got another one planned when it cools off a little bit. I've got a really good stealth camp I'm going to do. Uh, really good place. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, rest in peace, crazy neighbor. I really enjoyed watching him, man. He was such a good friend to Steve Wallace. It really him losing his life and crazy neighbor all one time like that was rough on him. Yeah, good guy, really good guy. I love his crazy recipe ideas he throws together, and like everybody says, he makes enough to feed an army. His Instapots and all of his different. The pallet trailer was a good idea. The bear trap, live trap, that was a good idea. He's done so many good stealth camps. Yeah, and his mother. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I lost 3 last year, and he lost 3. Bad deal. But yeah, and there's a lot of other good guys. There's a lot of other ones. It just depends on your taste. A lot of good stealth campers. I really like Todd when I found him through Tony's channel too. Um, really like Todd's style, and he's a really nice guy in person too. Enjoyed talking and getting to know Todd. Um, I really like his, and I like how he shows when he fails and when he succeeds. I mean, he's not ashamed to say when he fails, which is good. I like real people that don't edit out everything. I really like that. I wish I would have caught all my bloopers, like flipping over backwards out on the hammock at our YouTube meetup at Noblet Lake. I got a scar on my back because I hit that little aluminum table that I have beside my hammock. I stepped down and didn't make sure I was in the hammock, and I was just on the underquilt, and it flipped me around backwards off the back of my hammock. I wish I would have been recording because that would have been a great blooper. Luckily, I didn't get hurt worse than I did. Luckily, there's not much up here to hurt, right? Howdy, 210 Outdoors. Just wanted to give you a little support. I appreciate that, Foothills. I do. Thank you for the support. If you guys haven't subscribed to Foothills of Appalachia, please go and subscribe and check out his channel. He's got a lot of good gardening and a lot of good content to watch. I made you a mod, David. Sorry, I haven't by now. I thought I had you as the moderator, so that way you can check out everybody's channels as well. I think I got everybody as a moderator now. But that's one thing good about our community is checking out each other's channels and supporting each other. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we've been on for 3 hours. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on, but yeah, my problem is I don't leave my camera rolling as much as I possibly should, probably, just because I don't want the raw 4 or 5 hours worth of footage when you have to trim it down to 30 minutes or less. So if I would have my camera rolling more, I'd catch a lot more bloopers for sure. But I think that's pretty cool to see people leaving those things in. I found Todd when YouTube recommended his Billboard Stealth Camp. I've been talking to him a little bit since Nobles. Yep. Yep. I had seen some recommendations before Tony recommended them, but of course, with Tony's recommendations, I figured it'd be well worth a shot. And of course, I chatted with him in Tony's lives several times. So, and then I met him at Knobles. But yeah, I've been watching him probably almost a year before Knobles, so quite a while. Not quite a year, I'd say. But yeah, I really enjoy his channel a lot. And Hammock Mountain, of course. I really enjoy Hammock Mountain's stealth camps too. He does a really good job. I liked his last stealth camp at that church. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the blue wrench, David Hurley, makes you a moderator. So that way, when you're in chat, you're able to click on people's names and you can go to their channel directly instead of having to type their channel name and search. You just click on the name and go to channel, and it makes it easier to subscribe to other channels. That's what that your name's blue and the wrench is, makes you a moderator. Plus, if somebody comes in with inappropriate conversation, you guys all have the means to delete or time out anybody that comes in the chat to help me keep the chat clean and respectable. I don't mind religion. I mean, everybody knows I'm a Christian. I'm not shy about it. But I mean, if somebody comes in trying to put other people down, even as I'm a Christian, I want them kicked out just because we're not here to preach and we're not here to. I say that I do once in a while, but I don't preach and condemn nobody. It's not my job to judge anybody, but just to keep it clean. Mostly filthy language, posting inappropriate stuff. I don't want politics and religion discussed just because it starts fights. Now that my channel, I'm open to God and my faith, and I've shared my faith. I'm not going to get mad if somebody jumped in chat and post the scripture. I know that may offend somebody, but it doesn't offend me. Uh, I just don't want anybody starting fights. I don't want it discussed mainly just because it usually starts fights. Most people, not all, are very judgmental, and it's not our job to judge other human beings. That's God's job. It's my job to love each and every one of you and encourage each and every one of you, and so thankful that you're part of my life and my community. Um, all walks and backgrounds of life, all beliefs, all religions are welcome here as long as everybody is cordial and everybody's respectful. Um, even political views, I just don't like it because it starts fight. A lot of people with religion and a lot of people with political views just want to fight and argue. And, if that's going to happen, I don't want that. I want people to kick them out and keep people from fighting. Okay. You're welcome, David. I just appreciate you supporting the channel, coming in and chatting with me. I'm not going to stay on much longer. I really would like to start keeping them back down to 2 hours, but there's usually a few people in here. So when I'm camping, I don't mind going a little later because I can go to bed after this. Plus, if the conversation keeps going, I don't mind staying on. But when it whittles down and people slow down on commenting, that's a good key to leave. And I know people's got to work, and I understand that. So you're gonna start fighting. Tents are better than hammocks. Oh, they probably are for people that like tents. Uh, yeah. Well, I'd hope some of those $800 tents. I would hope they're better than my hammock. If you're gonna spend $600 or $800 on a tent, I have seen some tents that are pretty sweet though. I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of the new inflatable tents that are out there. I know it's the heavy duty river rafting material and everything, but man, tents get holes in them as bad as it is, and I don't want a tent to deflate on me in the middle of the night. Just like Kent Survival, he had one of those inflatable tents, and that thing clapped on him in the middle of the night. That was horrible. Who would want that? I mean, no, no. Team tent or team hammock? Let's get a ballot. There you go. I can start a little ballot uh, on the community post. I'm sure tents are gonna still win out because tents are more popular still. I found Tony's channel back in the day and it wasn't into stealthing camping, so I didn't subscribe to him. Then when I met him, on your live. It seemed cool, and I met him at Woolly Swamp and subbed him. Yeah, I like some of Tony's old stuff. And if you haven't seen his stroke videos, I really went back. I've been trying to go back. He's got a lot of videos, but I've been trying to go back and watch all of his old stuff to help support him even more. But that stroke series is super good. Really hard for him to get through that, and I respect him even more. It really made him stronger, wanting to get out and to recover. So that was really cool. Life on a budget. My favorite hammock is an old rope type with wooden spacer bars. Wow. Yeah. My grandmother used to have one of those in her backyard. Those are the only hammocks I knew before camping hammocks really came out. That's all you really had is those old type rope hammocks. Yeah, I love tents and hammocks both. Um, if it's cold winter, I don't mind being in a tent. I sleep better unless I'm using my memory foam mattress. I sleep better in a hammock. The only reason, well, there's a lot of other reasons I like hammocks. I like staying out of hammocks better. I like having the tarps and having them up, and you have that coverage. A tent, you got to have the rain fly on or not. Um, there's pros and cons to both. The tents I do have, I like. I really like our big 6-person tent that my wife and I use when we go on vacation. We usually use it to camp in. I really like it a lot. I like hammocks best. The ground is getting harder as I get older. You got that right, Foothills, man. I was just saying that earlier before you came in here. I mean, I've got a bad back and I've had neck surgery and bad knees, and I have to have some kind of air mattress and a foam mattress. 'Cause, yeah, I can sleep on a foam mattress still, just a close cell foam mattress, but oh man, I'll be hurting the next day. That's the main reason I like hammocks. And you hear people say, "Oh, it hurt my back worse." It's because you weren't sleeping in the hammock right. But that's the number one complaint with a hammock is they say, "I sleep worse in a hammock than a tent." But once they learn to sleep right in a hammock, I mean, it's almost like on sleep on air. It's comfortable, and I toss from my side to side because a lot of people are side sleepers, and they say, I can't sleep in a hammock because I'm a side sleeper. I sleep on my side in a hammock. You can sleep on your stomach in a hammock if you want. You just got to lay in it right. But it's not for everybody either. I mean, there's always going to be tent campers. There are always going to be hammock campers. Neither one's better. Just whatever you prefer is what I say. Nothing wrong with you can go to HangCon and pitch a tent if you want. Nobody's going to say anything to you. I even seen RVs there on video. 18-inch queen size inflatable air mattress. There you go. Die guy. Yeah. I have a big one of those tall inflatable ones with the inflator built into the mattress. My wife and I used that once on vacation. We like our camping cots with our memory foam mattresses just so we have more room for the dogs, and the dogs like sleeping under our cots. But yeah, those air mattresses are pretty comfortable too. I think people get older, they transition to hammocks for health reasons. Yeah, sometimes, and I know a lot of people seem to have a hard time getting in and out of hammocks, and that's why I encourage people to go back and even watch Tony now. I mean, he's had that major stroke, and I always hear people say I can't get in and out of hammocks and stuff. And man, Tony right after his stroke was getting in and out of his hammock and stuff. I mean, if nothing else, that if that doesn't give you the encouragement and the willpower to want to overcome whatever situation, health problems you have. I hear so many people say, my health issues, I can't get out. I see so many people on YouTube that have health issues that fight through it and get out there, you know. I know there's health issues that people can't get out on, but uh, for me, even I would use excuses, oh, it's too hot. Well, if that was the reason, I would definitely wouldn't have came out here and camped tonight because uh, just this fan. If I didn't have the fan out here, yeah, it'd be unbearable. But you just gotta do a few fine tweaks and enjoy getting out. Um, That's why I don't get out as much in the summer, and the bugs, and nobody likes ticks and mosquitoes. There's so many reasons why it's better to camp in fall, winter, and spring, obviously, but I think most people would agree to that. There's a lot of less content other than fishing, a lot less camping videos during the hot summer when there's people are in climates like ours that it's miserable to be out camping. Yeah, air pump built in. Yeah, that's a nice mattress. I like that. When my dad was sick, when he was helping, I was staying there with him. I slept in their guest bedroom on that air mattress. I love that thing. My brother and I'd take shifts taking care of my dad, and when one was up, the other one was in there on that air mattress sleeping. That worked out great. Yeah, foothills. I understand, man. You got a lot under your belt, man, to take care of, and I enjoy watching your videos and all the potatoes you harvest, and man, all the work you got there. I mean, just my little 5 acres here keeps me plenty busy. I can't imagine what all you got going on. My dad had chickens, and I, chickens are a lot of work. Um, any kind of livestock, any kind of big gardening. Um, if I had all that too, there's no way I could do anything, and I wouldn't have time to make content either at all. But I'm looking forward to this fall. Foothills. I'm hoping to make more videos now that my work schedule has changed. It's definitely hard when work takes over everything. Yeah. And back before I had my neck surgery and my back was all screwed up, man, being in the electrical field, you work, 50, 60 hours a week, and, work yourself to death. And then if you having the acreage like here, and I mowed twice as much as I mow now, I cut my mowing in half and let the back part grow up just for the wildlife and stuff too, and to have less to take care of. Um, that helped a bunch because it was murder. It'd take me a minimum of 2 hours just to mow, not weed eat, not picking up limbs and everything. So now it takes me an hour, a little bit over. I mow about half of what I mowed before, and even then, it's still hard to take care of. Um, but yeah, and the heat, man, this heat doesn't help anything. And if you garden and do all that you do, foothills, I know you have to water everything regularly, and I mean, there's so much to pulling weeds and not just letting it go. I mean, you can't just grow a garden and let it go and not weed and water, and doesn't turn out very good. That's why I boat camp between June and September. Yeah. See, that would be great. I would like to get one of those mats, floating mats that have the ladders on them, and put a tent on it or something. And man, you could swim all day and camp, and you could even you could even rig a tarp up on one of those things. 103 here. Yeah, it was 104 heat index here today. The actual temperature was 94 with it was almost 80% humidity. It seems like it was between 75 and 80%. I didn't see exactly. I looked one time in the kitchen and it said 76% humidity today, but it got up a little higher than that by the end of the day, I think. But yeah, it's miserable. I grow peppers and tomatoes. Oh, buddy, both of those are really good. Yeah, you can overwater both of those, so they like it a little drier, especially the peppers. You can't even see my hammock or nothing back there. You can see my tent poles, my twinkle lights, but you really can't see my hammock. Okay. Corn belt here in Iowa. Yeah, gotta like you some corn. I need to drink me some more water is what I need to do. See if I can shine that light back there. Oh, look. Oh no, I dropped my light. I'm glad it's strong. I don't know if you can see my setup behind me. Oh yeah, you can see it. That's on medium. Let me turn this on high. There, that's low, medium, low. Medium. What? Oh, that is high. I guess that's on low. I'm on work it. You can see the hammock. I didn't know if you could. That's my setup for tonight. I'm just hammock camping in my one wind. I love this little light. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it has a little light. You can turn it down. It's got a swivel head on it. It's kind of like the one that Luke from Total Outdoor Gear Review has, but his is the Outtask, which full price is $159, which I'm not paying for a light. But this is off of Amazon, has it in Temu. I forget what brand it is. It's a Chinese knockoff, but this is good, and it was $30. And if you put the top all the way down, it makes a cool little lantern. But it's like 2 foot telescopic, good for night. Everybody knows with YouTube, filming at night's really tough, and that light makes it really nice. Plus, I got my laptop out here reading comments. Uh, when you're doing lives, it's so hard to remember to drink stuff. Yeah, my phone's so small I can't hardly read the comments, so I usually bring a tablet or laptop out here so I can read the comments better. Especially when you use StreamYard. I can read them on YouTube when I stream on YouTube. I've got a lot of animals, chickens, goats, turkeys, plus yard work too. I always work outside until dark 30. Yep. Yep. I grew up on a 360-acre dairy farm foothill, so I know what it's like. My grandmother had a 2-acre garden herself and an orchard, and we had 100 head of cattle, dairy cattle, bottle calves, pigs, chickens. Yeah, we had a lot of livestock growing up. I know what it's like to do all that. A lot of work, man. But it pays off. I mean, really nice to have your own homegrown food and your animals that you know that you've taken care of and what kind of medications they've had and what you feed them. That's really peace of mind for sure. I have to run, but it was fun hanging out, getting to meet a few new people. Thank you, everyone. God, I wish I could see and follow everyone back. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you coming in, Shy Guy. We'll see you soon. Looking forward to that new content coming out. Appreciate you coming in. So the humidity of corn, 1 acre releases 1K gallon of water, but good year for growing. No El Nino or La Nina. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's hard to think, but it's right. Crops, either soybean or corn or any crop, really do put off a lot of moisture. You don't really think about it, but yeah, when we dairied, we did a lot of soybean and corn, milo, alfalfa. Uh, we did a lot of different uh, um, crops, mainly to feed our cows. The soybean and corn, obviously, we made our own grain. We dairied from about 1978 to 90. Did it for 18 years, so that was somewhere around 98. Is that right? I don't remember what year we quit. We sold the farm in 97. We stopped dairying. Grandma passed in 97. And we must have stopped dairying 95 or 96, somewhere around there. But yeah, we had the farm for 18 years, but we sold it. So yeah, that was That was something else. Back then, I wish none of us boys were still pretty young. I was just 18. Well, I was 18 in 93, so I was 20, what, 24? No, 23 when we sold it, I guess. Still pretty young. Didn't have a lot of credit. Didn't have enough money to buy the farm. I wish we could have back then. It sold so cheap compared to what it would sell for now. See you later, buddy. Yep. Well, I think I'm going to call it here. I've been on plenty long and keeping everybody late, and I'm glad everybody came in and hung out tonight. We had good conversation. Got through all those sales items. Appreciate everybody bearing with me, but I really enjoyed doing that and helping giving back to the community. Good night, Foothills. I appreciate you coming in and supporting me, brother. Have a good night. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here and get off here and get some sleep. And I don't know if I'm gonna cook dinner tonight. I'll probably get up and fix that breakfast in the morning. Uh, just drink plenty of fluids before I go to bed. But hope everybody has a great week coming up. I hope everybody has a blessed week. Thank you for always supporting and growing the community. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys every week. I really appreciate you coming in and joining in me in here. Have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Good night, Den. Good night, Foothills. Good night, David Hurley, if you're still in here. Good night, Ken, if you're still here. Good night, Woodsman. Life on a budget. I know I'm forgetting some people. Randy, if you're still here. Peter, if you're still here. Randy, Woodsman. Mike, Minnesota Mike, if you're here. Appreciate all of you guys. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week, if not before. God bless everybody. Good night. We'll see you.